It's live.
There we go.
We're on the internet. It's
Probably
happened.
there we go. Oh, good evening, everyone. If there's anyone in yet, which there isn't.
We'll come shortly.
I popped down to Lidl's and I picked up the 12 festive beers of Christmas.
Ooh.
I have what's in there. So I've got 3 glasses because I don't want to mix darks and pales in the same glass.
Of course. I've not seen what's in that box yet at all. I've not seen any reviews on it.
I think my box might be in a different order to anyone else's because it got a bit jumbled up. So I had to get someone else to reorganize it, put it all back together, just so I don't know what's in there.
This is exciting.
If I can even get into it. Let's move Odin out of the way. There we go. So the first one, if I can open this thing, Lidl quality, so it doesn't open very well, unfortunately. From Thornbridge, we've got Cocoa Wonderland, chocolate porter.
Beautiful
I've not
beer.
had.
You've not had it before?
No, that's one Thornbridge beer I haven't managed to get my hands on yet.
So I know that, so certainly in the East Midlands, Thornbridge is available in most supermarkets, and that one is always a permanent fixture in Morrison's.
Yeah.
And I think it might be the best regular supermarket dark beer.
There's not a lot of aroma out the can, but I'm sure that'll develop in months. Ooh, terrible pour, but there we go. That's me.
It's not that bad. It's better than my usual ones.
Let's see if we've got anything in the chat. So, see. First off is your message. If I can, there we go.
I think Mark's just popped into the chat and it's showing for you.
Yeah. There's yours. There we go.
There he is. I do.
We're up to that. What are you drinking today, Tom?
So, I had already planned today to do probably was kind of my big Christmas beer video.
Yeah.
And when you said you were doing live, I thought that's perfect. So I can review the beers. So I was going to do 2 Imperial Stouts at the same time for good reason. You'll see in a minute. And I thought then I can enjoy them leisurely in the live afterwards. So they've been sitting behind me for months. Well, not months, weeks. 2 from my local brewery. Let me get them. There we go. Hold on. Which one's going which way? So 2 from Blue Monkey. They are 2 different barrel-aged Imperials based off their kind of regular silverback Impy Stout. One's rum barrel, one's bourbon barrel. So I've just filmed a video comparing the 2 to see what the difference is, because it's the same beer when it enters the barrels, but very different when they come out. So I think I'm going to go with the rum first, if I can remember which way round I've put them. Yeah, that's the rum one. So yes, I'm going to sip these for a while because they are quite potent at 11.6 and 12.4. So I don't want to drink them too quickly.
Oh, I have to say, this is rather delicious.
It's a really good stable beer, that one.
You can see why it smells so well.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of aroma generally, but flavour-wise, it's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to poke speculation on what Lidl purchased. They've had that in outside of that calendar, or they had it in for about a month in October or November. And I bought a few cans because it was a little bit cheaper than the normal supermarkets. And I've only had 1 or 2 cans of it, and I don't think it was quite as punchy on the flavour as it normally is. So whether that aroma is, so I don't want to, again, I don't want to speculate, but in my experience so far, it's very good, but maybe not quite the standard it normally is. So if you're enjoying it,
being Lidl.
Yeah, possibly. But it is a very good beer, regardless, for sure.
It's not one I've seen in our local Morrison's, but we don't have a lot of stuff in our Morrison's. It's quite a small one, but
yeah, I think it's a Midlands thing because Thornbridge are Stoke-on-Trent way, I believe. But yeah, they do a lot. One. I don't know how up you are on your beer facts for that kind of brewery, but it's always been a bit of a what's the right word? Just a bit of an anecdote from them that basically they started off producing very hoppy pale beers. They were kind of one of the first on the bring the American inspiration over into British ales and that sort of thing. And they did quite well with it, and it was fine. But the beer that really took them to the top was their plum porter, which is about as far away from a hoppy pale as you can get. So it's always just one of those funny things. I think their dark beers are fantastic. 50-50 on their light stuff. Some of them I like, some of them I don't. But yeah, their dark beer is really, really good most of the time.
Yeah, I can't remember what one it was. I think it was the Peaky Blinders themed one they had. That I wasn't massively fond of, I have to say.
I don't think I had that one, to be honest. It was that one's passed me by. It's a bit of a funny thing, Thornbridge. When breweries get to the point that they are, certainly for me anyway, very regularly available in a supermarket near me, I do quite often stop buying them directly.
Yeah.
Just because, like, when I buy directly, I'm going to go for the stuff that I can't get anywhere else. If that makes sense, even if it's not the same beer. Yeah, it's a funny one.
Baked in the Peak District, so quite massively far up compared to me.
Oh, I've just made an absolute blunder. I've just confused Thornbridge and Titanic.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's the effect that reviewing two Impy Stouts has before you start talking. I do apologise to both of those breweries, but both of them are very good. So,
I do love Titanic Plum Porter. It's a good traditional porter, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I'm obviously adjunct from the plum side, but the base beer as well is absolutely solid.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark, for pointing that out, because otherwise I would have never realised. As soon as you said Bakewell, I was like, they're not in Bakewell. And I realised two different breweries. Idiot. Never mind.
David's in.
Hi, David.
David. And that was what Shelby it was called.
Was that the one that went on to the Perfect Draft machine?
I found it in Aldi, I believe.
Yes, it is the same one that went to the Perfect Draft, yeah.
It was not good. Not for me, anyway. Obviously, beer, very subjective.
Yeah, of course.
Just realised I look very washed out, so I'm going to turn the ring light off and see if that makes a difference.
You've got it inverse now. You've got now the background's bright and you're not. Can you turn the ring light down?
That's the lowest setting it had.
Okay. I don't think it was too bad.
Compare it.
No, I think
that's the brightest it goes. Maybe if I switch to orange, that's not too bad, is it?
No, you're good. You're good.
I can't actually see anything, so.
No, I think you're good. What your since we're coming up to the end of the year, what's your I'm not going to ask you for your beer of the year yet, because that's always a bit of an announcement that everyone likes to do. But what are your standouts, even if you don't want to give away the one?
I've not had an awful lot of new beers this year.
Okay.
Most of my reviews have been beers that have been around for a little bit, especially if I took a few months off here and there. So I think my beer of the year will be something that's older, but it's something that's new to me. And I'm trying to think of standouts that I've had. Actually, so Matt, I've filmed the videos for these three, but I've not edited and uploaded and whatnot. But I went to the independent market in my town last weekend and picked up 3 beers from the Cottage Beer Project. I think I've still got one here, actually. Well, I've got one of them, and it's where are they? They're based in Morbath, so it's literally 16 miles away from me. Although they're Devon, not Somerset.
Yeah.
And that is their Christmas pheasants. I don't know if I can get it.
Yeah, it's coming through. Yeah, well, that's nice bit of artwork there.
It's a good traditional winter ale.
Excellent.
I also had their black pheasant, which is a traditional stout, not a nice thick, winter stout. It's just a standard English stout.
Yeah.
And another one, which hit for six, a citrus IPA.
Okay. Nice. And
Really
they sorry, go on.
it was a really old world IPA, and I love my traditional beers.
I'm with you on that. I really enjoy trying a lot of new stuff and finding. One thing I do find is a lot of when breweries start doing very new styles, it's almost often a very easy way to figure out. I guess who've got the most competent brewers, or when it's something brand new.
Yeah, definitely.
But the flip side to that is very new styles. You often end up with a load of stuff that you're not that keen on because people maybe haven't quite nailed it. So I'm with you overall. Certainly this time of year, really old school beer. Yes, big fan, for sure.
David's got a litre of the Pfeffernuss Stout, which Paul's obviously just released his video for.
He has.
Which I did watch, and I think it sounds right up my alley, so I may have to go and order some of that.
Sounds very good.
Philby Trill is in. Oh,
there he is. Yeah. I've not seen the Trilby appear for a few weeks. How you doing, mate? You good?
Good evening, Phil. How's it going? And we've got Mersey Beers in too. Oh,
getting the gap back together.
I've got such fat fingers. I cannot hit things on this phone.
I've tried doing comments on a phone before. It's impossible. I can never do it.
David and Phil saying hello to each other there.
I do have a question about the figure you pointed out as Odin previously. I just want to know: is it a Santa you've renamed, or is it specifically Odin in a Santa coat?
If I try and get him to focus, he's not the most cooperative chap in the world, having to rule 9 worlds and all.
Wow, I mean, he's busy. He's very busy.
Technically, it is a Santa. It used to be our tree topper when we used to have a tree, which we don't do anymore because someone will pull it down. But as you can see, the very traditional green and red, not Coca-Cola red and white. It's got the white trim, but that green and red is based largely on depictions of Odin.
Interesting.
And of course, being a pagan myself, I'd rather he was Odin than Santa. Of
course, I'm always keen on a I guess originating Christmas fact. I think my favourite one, and this was featured on QI, so I can't take credit for going too deep down the rabbit hole on this. But beyond that point, I think the Santa image became, as far as I recall, became popular because of basically someone delivering presents in rural Scandinavian communities dressed in that garb. And please correct me if I get any of this wrong, if you know otherwise. But the main, but the purpose of that present delivering was actually magic mushrooms, as I recall. I believe that is correct. Yeah, which is the reason that on many traditional Christmas cards there are mushrooms present in the decoration on the card, which is quite funny given that no one gets excited about mushrooms at Christmas. It's not a thing. So the fact that they're there so prominently in so many is doing wonders. And I've just realized something that you probably hadn't clocked yet, is that when you sit perfectly in the middle of the photo behind you, the tinsel gives you bat ears, which is quite nice.
Getting a bit of antlers on there, but
yeah, it's good.
Just going to whiz through the comments we've got now. Phil, all good, cheers, just busy with life. I think we all know that feeling, don't we? Not always good, not always bad, just one of those things. Not sure what beer that's
Oh,
in relation to, David.
that's in relation to the Fifinu Stout.
Yeah.
Nice.
David's saying hi to Mersey. My phone's a bit wobbly, I've noticed. It's the new tripod mount I've got. It's because it's on the floor rather than where I used to sit with the table in front of me. It's a bit wobbly, I'm afraid.
It's not moving too much.
Best way to do comments on a phone, I find, is in desktop mode. That would be wonderful. I'm not intelligent enough to to work that one out. Not with technology. As he's saying hi to David. It's an interesting comment from Mark there.
The Coca-Cola.
Get it up. Yeah, because he did exist European mythology in red or in green. They chose the red for their image just because it was their branding color.
Of course, yeah.
Of course, clarifying their red and white. But there we go. So that was a very enjoyable beer.
We're on to number 2.
I'm going to have a look at what's door number 2. Again, if I can get into this. Should have just brought a Stanley knife in, I reckon.
Probably.
This one's from 52 North under Woodford's Brewery, and it's Narada Pale Ale. So coming in at 4.3%. I'm not quite sure how Christmassy 4.3% pale ale is going to be, but I'm sure it will be enjoyable.
I guess it's warm somewhere at Christmas.
Yeah. Not here, that's for sure. But luckily, we've not had the snow and all of that nonsense that a lot of the country seems to have had. But being so close to the, it's very temperate, but we have had some heavy frost.
We've been the same. East Midlands very rarely gets the real extremes for whatever reason. I think just because of the way it sits in proximity to the peaks. But it's we've had heavy frost, but no real snow.
No. The only trouble I've had is defrosting the car before I go to work in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's a very clear beer with quite heavy carbonation, I've noticed. Not much in the way of head. I have to say, it maybe looks slightly disappointing.
I mean, it's coming across. It comes across fine on camera, but obviously it probably looks very different to you.
Yeah, here it's very clear and heavily carbonated without generating a head.
Yeah, I think the red wall behind you is doing it a lot of favors.
I should hang something white behind me again. Can I get it in front of the old panda there? Doesn't really help that much, does it?
I can see, but when it does cross that bit, it does look very pale.
Not much aroma. I'm wondering whether the lack of aroma on everything is because I have a heavy cold.
That might be part of it. Yeah, that could do it. It feels like everyone I've spoke to recently has got a heavy cold. I'm really looking forward to catching it at some point. I can't wait.
Hopefully it should be all right then. Woodford are decent.
We'll find out very soon.
That's not bad. There's it's very citrus heavy. Maybe not quite right for this time of year, but sessionable.
Someone sat there and gone, oh, they have clementines at Christmas. It'll be fine. Let's do it.
I think that may be the case with that one. I mean, luckily, I have got a case of the 6 Belgians from Lidl's down here.
I have had those, and they are good.
I've reviewed 3 of them. when I first bought a case. The other 3 I drank on someone's live stream, and I'd already been drinking all day that day and ended up disconnecting from the live stream and falling asleep in my chair down here.
I don't think you're the first person to do that.
I think actually that was the day that I reviewed Log Jam Smash live.
That was quite a day.
Yeah.
That would have been quite a day.
Yeah, that year.
I have had Logjam. It was, yeah, it's nothing will be making John try it though, because he really doesn't like it. So, but yes, I liked it. It was good.
I loved it. And it was my beer of the year for 2020. So
there you go. Good stuff.
Yeah. All in all, not a bad citrusy pale.
Nice.
Can't really go, can you?
No, I keep doing this thing. Obviously, this time of year, I'm primarily a dark beer fan over anything else in general, and so this time you get very excited because all the new dark beers come out. But I quickly find myself overindulging and wanting something else after about 2 weeks. It's just nice to have a little bit of variety in there.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's somebody running around under my feet here.
Speaking of, how were the pooches?
We've only got Tyrion living with us.
Okay.
Leanna lives with her co-owner. Tyrion didn't take to having a baby with him.
Okay. Yeah.
But she's gone on. She's won her junior warrant, so she's done pretty well.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better to identify when it's not going to work and do something about it rather than just force it, because it never ends well when you do that. So, yeah.
As long as he likes girls when the time comes, that's the main thing.
True.
And David said that need John to release the remaining Logjam Smash. That would be nice, but I have a feeling John's not going to do that.
Well, yeah, he still has some lurking. I don't know why he's not going to. Why he wouldn't release it? He hasn't. We'll get on to him about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know for sure there's at least a dozen sat hiding, if not a few more. So
I managed to get hold of, in total, I think 6 bottles. And when I reviewed it 6 months later, it was even better.
Yeah, I didn't have it until, I'm trying to rack my brain now. It would have been, I want to say maybe September last year. So it was quite late. Yeah, I know. Imagine now it's probably changed again to something completely different. But yeah. David Wilson says that two customers ready to buy it. Certainly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind another one. I don't think I enjoyed it as much. I mean, I liked it. For me, it's not one of those things that I necessarily want half a case worth in. It's probably different for you, Chris, because you really, really liked it. But I wouldn't mind another one or two.
They're maturing it over different stages. It definitely worked for me because I had 6 different flavors.
Yes. Yeah, it was. It's an odd experiment to do, but I think it was worth doing. For sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You got any? Sorry, go on.
Without giving too much away, because obviously you've got your review coming.
Yes.
What's your beer like?
So I can talk a bit more about these because I have actually reviewed these in some way before, because they were kind of their headline beers at the Nottingham Beer Festival, and I did a one video covering, I think it was 12 beers or something like that, with kind of quick rapid fire reviews. So their standard silverbacks are very it's a no nonsense impy. There's no adjuncts in it. It's straight up. It's super. I don't want to say it's an assault on senses, because that makes it sound bad, because it's not. It doesn't mask its ABV, but it's also easy to drink.
Yeah.
And you can ask the Craft Beer Hub about that, because he drank one on a live 2 weeks ago and then I think regretted it. But yeah, it's a very well done. Let's say no adjunct imperial, and then these two really take it up a notch. The rum one, it gets a lot of that kind of fruit flavor out of the rum, so you end up with something that's got deep dark intensity from the MP, and then kind of the rum notes kind of lift it up a bit, make it maybe a bit more easy to drink for people who aren't into, I guess, traditional imperial stouts. And then the bourbon one, I think, just adds just plays on what's already there, if that makes sense. Just brings a little bit more of that bit kind of bourbon vanilla vibe, a bit more depthy woodiness. I really like both of them. I won't tell you which one I prefer because we'll wait for the video on that one. But they're both cracking. I think they've still got a few bottles left. So if anyone's after a last minute Christmas order, I think you can get them still. And their delivery companies are normally pretty decent. So yes, it's,
plenty of flavour.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's no yeah. I mean, the real purpose of that video was to really consider how much difference the type of barrel makes. So obviously you go, I mean, rum barrel seems very popular this year. I've had quite a few more rum barrel aging than I have bourbon ones this year. But it's always interesting to sit back and consider if a lot of people won't be that familiar with barrel aged stouts in general. So if you sat there stuck between 5 different ones, all that are quite expensive, and you don't know what to expect from that barrel style, hopefully this video will help people understand that a little bit more. Yeah, which is the real aim of that. So yeah, but I'm having a great time with them. They're both fantastic.
I think one of the best barrel aged stouts I've ever had, I don't know if you've tried it, is Late Night Breakfast from Quantock.
No, I've not had that one.
I'm not saying that just because it's my local brewery. It is unbelievable.
So everyone has a real soft spot for their local brewery, which is why I rave on so much about Blue Monkey, because they are, I think, in a straight line, they're probably like 3.5 miles away. Like it's nothing. Yeah. They are basically on the doorstep. So, yeah, everyone has that soft spot, and I think, and I might be wrong, but I've always thought that there's probably something about if you're drinking the local water and it's the same water they make that beer with, you're probably going to gel with it instantly a lot more for some reason. Yeah. Even though they do condition it to make it more like, whatever they think is favourable. There's water that's conditioned never quite gets fully away from its source in some way.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's like whether you like anything from Marston's or not, that Burton water is indistinguishable from, and it's that one thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's entirely its own thing. It's the reason that I really like Scottish beer, because that water profile, for whatever reason, I just really gel with, regardless almost of where it's come from in Scotland, because obviously it's very different Highlands to Lowlands, but even so, it has this kind of fresh mineral quality that I think sets beer off to another something. It's just totally different to what you can get in the middle of England, basically. So yeah, it's nice.
Having a beer that's using water that's granite filtered, it just does something, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, most of our water here is probably sandstone filtered, so I'm not sure that's always the best thing, but it's a different approach, whatever they do to it. So yeah, it's always good. What are your kind of 3 closest breweries? Obviously, Quantock, you said.
Quantock, Cotley and Exmoor are both quite close. Mm-hmm. 2 very traditional breweries.
Yeah.
And then not too far away, we've got Yeovil Brewery. Then I think the next nearest one would probably be Parkway.
Okay.
Which is a very traditional brewery.
I always feel like South Coast got a lot of very traditional.
I mean, it's only half an hour for me to drive to Bristol, and then there's hundreds of breweries.
Oh, of course. I mean, Bristol is just probably one of the best single cities for breweries right now.
Yeah. me and my fat fingers again. There we go. So obviously, Mark was down at Quantock Brewery. What was it, last year? And yep, late night breakfast is unreal. I cannot disagree with that. It's absolutely amazing.
What's the breakfast element in that? Is it oats or maple
It's
syrup?
coffee.
Okay,
It is brewed with cold brew coffee,
nice,
and it is a really good beer as well.
excellent. Always coffee stouts are always I don't know, when one's done well I really like it, but when you get one that's just a bit not quite perfect, it's a real put off for me. I don't know why. It's a proper either love it or hate it thing with coffee stout.
I mean that one was amazing, and the only trouble is getting into the wax cap. I think it probably took half an hour to break it in bottle.
Yeah, I've just had that pleasure on 2 of these. Yeah, it's a nice addition. Makes things feel more premium. They're not very practical, but I didn't struggle for too long, thankfully.
Let's whiz through these comments again. Flying Colours. Was that a Quantock beer, David?
I think so, based on he's replying to Mark about Quantock. So
I'd imagine so. But there have been some, particularly the ones they've released through Flavorly, haven't been so good. But the beers you get direct from them are really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd completely forgotten about Tapstone. But what's Chard, about 30 miles away from me? They've talked between David and Mark about that one. And Joey's here.
He's in. But he's also watching American football, by the sounds of it.
Being a not massive fan of any sport, I couldn't think of anything worse myself. But if we all like the same things, the world would be a very boring place.
It's true. I'm just a picky sports fan. Very few.
I didn't even realise the World Cup final was on today, but there we go.
I did know that. I don't know who won. I'm sure my phone's going to probably already have told me.
Just living in my own hair.
Argentina won, apparently.
Yeah, that's going to go whoosh straight over for me.
It's a country. That's what I need to know.
That's one, They have a very large Welsh population as well.
Really?
In Patagonia.
I did not know that.
Large Welsh migration there in about 1810, 1820.
Any idea what spurred that? That's an interesting shift.
I'm not sure, but I reckon I want to find out now.
Oh, we'll find. Let's learn something.
David Wilson had the Bat Quantock beer in his Beer 52 box. So, like I was saying, with Flavorly, obviously the ones they send out to other companies for distribution are probably the lower quality one, shall we say?
Yeah, it does seem to happen. I know one of my favourite Scottish breweries, Black Isle, had one go out in a Beer 52 box a few months ago, and I'd never had that beer, but a few people who got the Beer 52 box said, "Oh, I've got this," and I said, "It's probably going to be pretty good," but apparently it wasn't, not at all. So,
although interestingly enough, Black Isle and Loch Lomond, two breweries I wouldn't have found if it wasn't for trying Flavorly boxes.
There you go. I mean, you probably ended up hearing about Black Isle at some point because I don't shut up about them, but yeah.
I'm sure I would have done. Joey and David saying hello to each other. And Mark's friends live in Goathurst. That's not far from me at all. And yes, I do fancy a pint somewhere sometime.
There you go. Just
Got
don't
me a
let
message.
Mark drink too many impies.
Well, that's one thing you don't get in pubs around here, that's for sure. Right.
Probably for.
And I'm going to open number 3. Which,
Chris
again,
is steaming through. We're on 3 already.
although to be fair, they're not exactly the highest ABVs in the world, are they?
Fair. Well, I've just finished my rum one, so we're back on to the bourbon now.
I'd say this is probably a disturbing beer.
Oh dear.
Or disappointing at least. Comes from Williams Brothers. Obviously a long history with Lidl.
Yeah.
It's Birds and Bees.
I have had that, and I'm not the biggest fan.
It's a very plain and boring. And it's a summer beer. There's no question of that.
No one would blame you for saving it for summer.
I'm going to skip that one. And my nephew, who has just got into, well, he's got into craft beers over the last year or so. And from my last Lord's order, I saved 2 cans of Baller for him, which he loved. He'll be having that one.
Great beer.
So, moving on to number 4. $0.10 double dry hopped IPA. Not a lot of info on the can here. Oh, it's Williams Brothers again.
Of course.
Now, I'll give it a go. I've not tried it before. I think the only Williams Brothers beer I really liked was March of the Penguins.
Have you had Frau?
I don't think I have.
Okay, so interesting fact for those that don't know, Williams Brothers used to be called the Heather Beer Company. And Frau was the only beer they did for a while. And it's a Scottish heather beer. It's brewed with wild Scottish heather in it. And that's all they did. And a really odd fact is the first time I ever discovered them, I was in Cornwall, of all places.
Yep. Traditional place for Scottish beer.
Indeed, obviously. But yeah, I quite like that one. It's a really odd beer because it tastes wildly different depending on what glass you drink it in or whether you drink it out of the bottle. Sometimes it's really it gets kind of like the nice nice earthy notes from the heather. And then if you have it in like a really open kind of like wide top pint glass, you get a lot of like much more floral. So if you don't like it one way, try drinking it a different way.
Yeah. I can think of a few beers like that.
Yeah.
First year download was Tuborg was the beer of offer. If you drank it from a paper cup, it tasted like paper cup. If you drank it from a can, it tasted like can.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what year that would have been. Was that 2000 and I want to say 8?
2006, I think, was first year I went.
Okay. I was there. So yeah, it could have been.
I did 2 years of download before I thought, no, I'm going over to Europe and doing European festivals.
That's fair. I would have given in on it earlier, but it's right on my doorstep. If without traffic, if I were able to drive now to Donington,
yeah,
with no traffic on the road, it would probably take me 17, 18 minutes. So, yeah, it's easy. It's easy when you don't have to mess around.
Well, here we have 10 cents double dry hopped IPA. Slightly hazy.
I'd say it looks a little cloudy.
Try and get it up against the white there.
Not too bad.
Not massive head retention. We won't do aroma because I can't smell a damn thing anyway. But taste-wise, not too bad.
Worth pointing out that tulip glass won't have any. I always forget the name of it. The little bumps at the bottom.
Nucleation.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, won't have any of those. So probably a bit difficult to tell versus what it'd be served in a bar. But yeah,
But overall, not a bad beer.
good.
Not great, but it's drinkable.
It's all that matters sometimes. It's all that matters. Cheers, David.
Cheers to you. Or what was it? Cheers to you all.
Yes, indeed.
We won't do my usual.
You got any interesting plans over the festive period, Chris? Anything going on?
Well, I've got 5 days of work. Always fun. Retail at Christmas is
Yeah.
interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I don't envy you on that one. I'll be honest.
And when I finish on Christmas Eve, I've got to deliver a huge pile of food and crockery and cookware to Shane's sister's house because on Sunday for Christmas dinner, I shall be doing the cooking for 16 people.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot. Are you
looking
forward to that?
Well, I like cooking, just as long as people stay out of my way and my glass is kept topped up.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
How about yourself?
We're not disappearing to Scotland this year. We kind of do 1 year on, 1 year off. So going to see my family this year. Always interesting with 3 idiot dogs around, people that aren't used to them and food. So that's always it's always slightly tetchy, but on my part, not for anyone else. But yeah, so I think it's going to be okay though. I think it's going to be all right. I've got a plan where to put them and what to do with them, I think. So, but we'll find out on the day. My dogs have got form on finding a way on Christmas Day to do something.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, no, it should be okay. Not got to endure a 9-hour drive, so that's one perk. But yeah, pretty chill this year. I'm not normally December. We've got kind of plans to see people every weekend and that sort of thing, but it's just not been like that this year. So, but I'm not complaining. Quite enjoy the ability to just say yes at the last minute because you've not got plans here, there, and everywhere. So, yeah, so far it's going all right. Not too bad.
Luckily, Shane's sister lives just the other side of town, so we don't have to worry about Tyrion. He can sit at home on his own. And then we'll bring him back some turkey and gammon, no doubt.
Yeah, if it was just my boys, we could leave them for a bit. Getting back from where we're going might be a bit tricky unless someone drove and didn't want to have a drink, which is not ideal on Christmas Day.
No.
But my girls, her bladder's not good enough, so we're going to take them and see what happens. But I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Be all good.
I'm not much of a Christmas person. Probably comes across.
I don't know. That Christmas jumper and the tinsel behind you is not doing you any favors with that comment.
Well, I had to make some form of an effort, didn't I?
I enjoy it, provided it doesn't get too intense too early. That's got to balance it a little bit.
Yeah, I like being in the kitchen and cooking and entertaining, but the actual Christmas side of it winds me up.
Yeah, I think it probably does a lot of people, to be honest. But if you like booze and like food, then there's not many times in the year you get to go to that extent with it over a prolonged period. So there's definitely some perks in there somewhere.
Right. Well, we've caught up with the comments again.
Again, everyone's in.
Well, we have 7 people in.
Yeah, and if those 7 people haven't already liked this video, they definitely should.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I have not done that because, but now I have. There we go.
Share and subscribe
Please do.
to both of
Please
our
do.
channels. Well, I think everyone that's in has subscribed to both of us.
It's entirely possible, but if they haven't, you never know. You never know. You could do it anyway. Are you saving any beers or drinks in particular for Christmas Day? Have you got anything on standby?
I did put in an order on Friday, being my payday, with a certain John for 2 mini kegs, and if they arrive in time, one of those is destined to come up with me to keep me company whilst I'm cooking.
Excellent. That sounds good. Which kegs did you go for?
I went for the Vice beer because I've not tried that yet.
Oh, it's a great session beer, that.
And I also picked up a keg of the Chosen Man Bitter.
Oh,
which I first tried in bottle 2.5 years ago. No.
Wow. I've only ever had that at this year's Nottingham Beer Festival, so it's just straight out of a barrel. But it was very nice, very nice.
Keg, as long as it arrives before Christmas, will travel with me up to Chain Sisters, and that will keep me going through the day, I reckon.
I mean, I'm sure it probably depends on your local delivery hubs, but every time I've had an order from John, it's been pretty rapid. So yeah. I think you'll be okay.
Mine's always been pretty quick. Like being, well, hundreds of miles away.
It doesn't seem to matter sometimes. It's I've ordered stuff from down the road and it's taken a week, and you've ordered stuff from. Have you had stuff come from Europe and it's come in like 36 hours from ordering or something? It's ridiculous. So you can't tell at the minute. I had a delivery today that as soon as I delivered it, as soon as I ordered it, I basically got a message saying, yeah, it might be a day later than we thought. And the whole way through, it's like, yeah, it's probably not going to happen soon. It probably arrived before Christmas, but not quickly. And it still arrived today. So yeah, I was happy with that. So yeah, you never know. You never know. I think everyone's just covering their backs at the minute and saying it won't arrive, and then when it does, everyone's happy. So
I know a friend of mine who designs Christmas cards and wrapping paper and things for dog people.
Oh, nice.
You can have your dog on your wrapping paper and whatnot. She's had some angry comments from customers like, why hasn't my stuff arrived? It's because the only way she can ship it is through Royal Mail. Yeah. And there's a huge backlog at the moment.
Yeah, some incredible scenes of the backlog stacking up. I think the main picture, I think they were from Bristol, actually.
Yeah.
It was really an immense amount. I had heard somebody told me yesterday that there's reports of, because these things they're kind of kept outside because they don't have the internal space, but they are undercover, so they should be good from the weather as long as it's not ridiculous. But as a result of being outside, like some parcels have been nibbled into by rodents and stuff. Like it's a bit, not great, But
David got a package from America in 2 days.
That is quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The last video that was out on my channel was an unboxing of beer from Trav in Australia. He sent me some Australian craft beers, and he messaged me, I think on the Monday, to say he was posting them off that day.
Yeah.
I think they arrived on the Thursday or Friday.
That's not bad, is it?
10,000 miles away in about 4 days. It's like during December, during Christmas period. It's like, that's impressive.
That is amazing.
I was wowed. Very excited to get into those. Some really good looking cans in there.
Oh, I'm going to leave you in charge for 2 minutes.
No worries at all.
If anyone comments,
I will pick it up for sure.
Whilst I avail myself of the facilities.
No worries. So, you lovely people in the chat, what have we all got planned for Christmas? Anything for the next week? Has anyone got an annoyingly long amount of time off that we'll all be jealous of? Have you got any beers you're saving for Christmas Day? Let's open that question up to everyone that's watching. I'm always intrigued to, what people are saving for the big day. I have covered what I'm probably going to be drinking a few times already on my streams, but I've got a few big bottles of higher ABV stuff from Black Isle, which is which I'm going to be taking. I think I recently reviewed in fact, no, that video comes out tomorrow. Tomorrow I've got a video coming out of an MP stout from them called Apparent Magnitude, and they've done the same, which is already an MP stout, but they've done a rum barrel aged version called Absolute Magnitude, and I think that's going to be my big Christmas Day beer. David Wilson says the Lord's Weekend Driver Bitter sounded very nice. He says Rob of Bramall Backroom Brewery really enjoyed the Weekend Driver. Yeah, I've not tried that one yet, but that does sound very good.
And I'm back.
He's back. The Weekend Lord's New Bitter Weekend Driver.
I've not had that.
No, it's new. It's a new one.
I do like a good bitter.
Oh, David's got another comment. He's keeping a Brewdog K for a New Year's Eve. Brewdog Dog. I don't know what that is. I'll have a look. Let's have a look.
I don't think I'm aware of that one.
No. Second. Brewdog.
Dog. I have to say, I've not really kept up to date with Brewdog beers recently.
No, me neither. It's an 11% MP.
Oh,
apparently.
Maybe I should have kept up to date with that one.
Maybe, but there's an awful lot of 11% impies around, and I've not tried the beer, so I'm not gonna slate it immediately. But there are so many options that others, take precedence in my mind. But the one thing I will say is they're doing it in a 330ml bottle, and as are these ones I've got from Blue Monkey. And I have to say, when you're going really high ABV, I mean, one of these is 12.4. I kind of like the 330s. I think they're just the right amount.
The bigger the bottle, the longer it takes to drink it.
Well, it's true. I like changing up though. I like having different beers continually, and I understand the big kind of 750 showcase bottles because they're a good sharer. You can have that with someone else, and you get a nice amount there. I always find 440s, they're a bit stingy to share.
Yeah,
but they're maybe a little bit much for a really high ABV on your own.
It doesn't make it sessionable.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I'd like to see more people going just 330s on the impy stuff, because most of the supermarket impies now are 440, and I think you could lower that price just a little bit, bring it down, do more units. I don't know, but yeah.
And you might get more of the casual beer drinker into more craft beers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I mean, it depends. When you get one that's exceptionally good, then I'm never annoyed if there's a bit more, but it's got to be really exceptionally good. So
I've got a feeling going back to my favourite stout, late night breakfast, I think it was a 660ml.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a bad. Well, share that. That's 330. So yeah, perfect.
I mean, I certainly enjoyed that bottle over about an hour and a half.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
You couldn't go any quicker than that, I reckon.
No, I mean, these are 2 330s I'm on now, and I've been drinking them for, well, I'm nearly at the end, and I'm an hour and 20 in.
Yeah.
From reviewing this, so yeah, it's that's all right. What are your plans with this stream? Have you got anyone else coming on? Are you doing a late one? What's your?
I believe a certain ginger person might be joining later.
Okay.
When he gets home from work.
Of course.
And a certain southerner up in Yorkshire might be joining if he's free.
There you go. If he's allowed out to play.
Who's coming on?
We can throw a dart and probably hit those guesses there, but good.
That might be fairly obvious, but there we are. I just thought after a year, it's about time I did another little live stream.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to get into number 5, which is it's a vacation beer.
Oh, what is it?
It's a pretty standard vacation beer. Heart and Soul.
Okay.
Good beer. Good session beer.
It shouldn't be disappointing.
There's nothing horrible in that one. But what I might do is save that one for my nephew.
Yeah.
So if we move on to number 6, if I can open it. It's not the best designed package in the world.
Yeah, a lot of these beer calendars aren't. They're always a little bit fiddly.
And 6 is, well, it's all right. Piston Head.
It's been a long time since I've had one of those.
Wait, it's for a lager, it's drinkable.
It has flavour. That's all we can really say. It has flavour. Maybe not always flavour to everyone's taste, but it has flavour.
So I might put that one to one side as well. I'm going to be cracking through this book.
Rooting through for the good ones.
Okay, so into number 7. Just looking at the top of the can, it's got a Thornbridge sort of style to it, which indeed it is, and it's Kipling.
Oh,
so it's got a nice South Pacific Pale Ale at 5.2%. I don't think I have reviewed this actually.
I think I've had it once, and I feel like it was all right, but I might be wrong. I don't really remember it, but when you said it, I didn't recoil in fear, so it's probably all right.
No. Well, we'll give it a go and see.
Let's find out. Let's
if
find
it's
out.
drinkable or horrible. Well, that is absolutely horrendous as far as pours go, isn't it?
Well, you said the others had no head retention. At least this has not got that problem.
Now, having a look on the can, being Thornbridge, you can't read anything because the writing's far too small. There's Nelson hops. Should have passion fruit, gooseberry, and mango aroma. Seeing as I can't smell anything, I wouldn't know. So, whilst that head dies down so I can actually see what it's like, David says he went to KK Steel Mill in Wolverhampton for a gig last week. They have their own beers brewed for them, but KK's Dark was a very nice porter.
There you go.
I've not heard of them, but
well, while we're talking about Thornbridge and gig places that got their own beer, Thornbridge have done a beer for Rock City in Nottingham.
Oh, have they indeed?
Yeah, they've got their own in there, which is always nice to see. I've not tried it yet, to be fair. I've not been to a gig there for a while, but next time I go. How's that beer? That was an unsure face.
Well, it's not what they say. I'm getting lychee on this.
Okay.
And not a lot else.
I mean, in some ways it's a similar area, but yeah, it's still a bit different.
The lychee is related to the gooseberry, but
yeah,
there's no gooseberry in that at all. Not for me.
Okay. But you have got a cold, so that might be impacting things a little. Yeah, very difficult to review a beer properly when you've not got all your senses fully working.
So David Etchell says that according to his beer calendar, Christmas is tomorrow.
He's getting through them. That's good.
I'm guessing there's quite a few people that are in a very similar boat there.
Yeah, it's yes, I imagine a few people went, oh, why not? We'll just carry on. Just carry on. It'll be fun. As long as you're enjoying them, it doesn't really matter.
That's the main thing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And if you visit Birmingham, Cornbridge have got a great pub called the Colmore.
Okay. I've not been to Birmingham for a very long time. So
The last time I was in Birmingham was in August, driving through it because the sat-nav went mad on my way home from Bloodstock.
that did send you the wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it was trying to get you across to the M6 and down.
Wondering whether there was an accident on the M42.
Yes, probably. Probably.
I wasn't impressed with having to drive through the middle of Birmingham.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's probably not. Yeah, not good. Not good.
When you're used to driving around a little town in Somerset, not quite the same.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Did you do Bloodstock this year?
Every year.
Nice. Next year's lineup was looking pretty decent at the minute, I think, from what I've seen.
Yeah. Anthrax have had to cancel.
Yes, I saw that. Not ideal.
Because of the reformed Pantera of sorts.
Oh, okay? I wasn't aware of that. I'd seen that they had to cancel, but I didn't know that was why.
But Charlie is also drumming for the new Pantera.
Okay.
Who are playing that same weekend.
Yeah, that'll throw a spanner in the works.
But Triptych playing instead, and they're playing a Celtic Frost set.
Yeah, I saw that, but not being familiar with their work, I didn't really understand what that meant.
It's how to describe it. If it wasn't for Celtic Frost, Hellhound, there wouldn't be any black metal. But they're not black metal.
So like a tribute set to them. Is that the?
Well, 2/3 of Triptychon are the 2 remaining living members of Celtic Frost.
Right. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. I did wonder if it was a reference to that band's origins effectively. So yeah, interesting. Okay.
Very doomy.
Yeah. Okay.
If you like Cathedral or Catatonia, the Swedish one, not the Welsh one.
Yeah.
Then it'll be a good set.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I might try and get to Bloodstock next year. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice location.
Yeah. I'm there every year, and I'm always pissed.
That is the way at a festival. There's no other way to be.
The Colmore is a great place to drink. Or Birmingham is a great place to drink. So,
yeah.
There's a bar called Tilt with 10 impies on. The Wolf has all Vocation Naughty and Nice outs last week.
Wow.
The only the Vocation Naughty and Nice that I've had is the original Naughty and Nice.
Yeah, so I think he's referring to the celebrations box set ones this Christmas. Christmas.
I've watched all of them.
Yeah, I've had all of them in can and reviewed all of them in can. I've had the only one I've had on draft is the Milky Way one, which I think was one of the weaker ones. In general, it's a bit of a weird one because I think because of the price of them and the hype behind them, everyone was expecting very top tier beers.
Yeah.
And the truth is, none of them were really there. But at the same time, when I had that one, and I say that was one of the weaker ones in can, when I had that one on cask, I wasn't disappointed. It was one of the better options in that pub. It's one of the, we've got to this kind of weird point in beer, I think, where the quality can be so high in a lot of small independents, just selling cans, that when you get to the pub point, something that you maybe thought was a bit of a rip-off or not quite there in can is still one of the best options, which just shows you where the quality is at, because it means everything's pretty good when you're at that point. So, yeah, it's a funny one.
I have to say I was quite surprised recently to go to my local Wetherspoons, of all places, and find a fairly decent craft beer.
What was it?
I can't remember what it was called, but it was from a brewery that is, should we say, slightly controversial now, or has been in the last couple of months.
What does it begin with?
It begins with a W, and it's from my neck of the woods.
Okay, I'm having a mind blank, but I'll sit on that one for a minute.
Well, they're not tame. I'll give you that one.
Okay, I've got a brewery in mind, but I didn't think they were from your neck of the woods, so now I'm confused. Anyway, I'll find out later. Don't worry. Interesting. Oh dear.
If anyone in the chat, all 5 of you know, then drop it in and I'll tell you if you're right or not.
Yeah, someone can guess. Let's play a guessing game. Oh dear. Well, I have now finished my 2 impies. They were very nice. They're very nice indeed. I'm not going to crack another one open because I said I was free till 6:30. We're past that point, but I'm good for another 5 minutes or so. So we'll keep chatting. But I'm going to leave it there on the beer for now because I feel like I need a half an hour deflate after those 2 because they were pretty potent before I crack into anything else. David Wilson has guessed at Elvis juice. I don't think that matches any of the clues.
No.
Oh, David got some plum porter in at Spoons. Interesting. Spoons around here tend to do a few local ones that generally are decent. Now, when I've had them, they've never been anywhere near as good as they were in the previous times I've had them. I don't know whether that's the beer itself, whether it's their conditioning of it or what, but
I have a feeling that they don't know how to look after beer.
Yeah, and I'm sure it varies between different pubs as well. I'm sure there'll be some people in there who are very passionate about it and do it properly, and there'll be people who are just career Wetherspoons workers that just maybe they're interested in the hospitality side and not the actual beer component.
Yeah,
and that's but it is what it is. It's been a while. Sorry?
Those are the perils of a big chain, I suppose.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I was talking to someone about this the other day as well. Wetherspoons is a funny one because obviously they don't get a good rap for basically from the rest of the industry, understandably, and everyone would rather. Most people, I think, would rather drink somewhere else. But at the same time, right now, it's hard to slate someone providing basically what is a very cheap service when a lot of people out there can't afford anything. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword.
I mean, we've just lost one of the 2 Wetherspoons in our town.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
unfortunately, it was the better of the two.
Yeah, I have noticed that in Wetherspoons, sometimes the ones that are more financially successful are not the ones that you want to go in.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. It's a bit of a funny one. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. I've definitely seen that before, for sure.
So David says that the one near him is better recently.
Okay.
So he guesses that they've got someone who knows how to look after beer.
Clearly. It's on the way up.
And yep, this is very true. They just released it that they'll be having 3 regional craft beers in each pub. So
Oh, okay. And they're just 3 canned ones.
Yeah, the 3 we have in ours, one is horrible, one's okay, and one I haven't tried.
Okay. I mean, at least if there's one decent in 3, if you end up in there, then you know it's decent. So it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Good stuff.
But we do have usually some good local cask beer as well. So
yes, yeah, it's it's so inconsistent because sometimes I've been into spoons when I don't know, I've been visiting friends in places I've never been, other cities, other towns I've never been before. That's been the only option. Begrudgingly gone in and then found out that actually there was something decent on, the port, the beer was good. And then sometimes I think last year I found out that one of my local spoons was the only place in the county doing. I can't remember what beer it was. It was someone's festive beer anyway. That was meant to be even better last year than the years before. So I went, and it was fairly tragic. And you just can't.
yeah,
You can't judge it. So.
And David, you've had Siren Flex. I do generally like a Siren beer. Brixton Atlantic. You can drink it, I suppose. But they've not had the 3rd one in yet.
Okay. Yeah, Siren's pretty good. I've not tried the Brixton. I've not tried anything from Brixton, I don't think.
I've had a couple of theirs and they're drinkable.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes
again, unfortunately, they're always going to have to buy to a price point, and that's going to only be so many breweries. So they're probably never all going to be fantastic, but it serves a purpose for some people, which is all that really matters sometimes.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Right, Chris. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave you to it. I promised that I'd cook and make dinner today. So I think I've blagged it out as long as I can do, and now I'm going to have to go and make something.
You on, Tom?
No, thank you for having me. I hope you have an enjoyable Christmas. Good luck with the cook for 16, because that sounds like a challenge in itself.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I don't envy you, but I'm sure it'll be a good one. David just said cheers in the chat, so cheers, David. Cheers, everyone that's joined. Everyone, please stick about.
Thanks,
and yeah,
sure.
I'll catch you all soon. Have a good Christmas, everyone. See you later.
So that was Tom, obviously. Everyone knows Tom from the Crummy Beard. We've probably got a bit of time before the next special guest. So if everyone would do me a massive favour and just like and share as much as they can, get it out there so more people join. I'm afraid I'm going to disappear for 2 seconds and avail myself of the facilities. Not a bad beer, not a great beer, just drinkable. And we're back. I've had to discard the Christmas jumper because it's getting a little bit hot in here. So, just going to clear off some of these empties. Luckily, I've got a can bin down here ready. Got the rest to one side. Now, top off of the rest of this Kipling from Vaughanbridge. Not much left in the can, but let's get it going, shall we? So, how's everyone's Christmas shaping up? Anyone got any good plans coming up? And like I said, I'm stupidly cooking for 16. Just going to change this one a bit, see if I make myself look not quite so washed out. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one, David. It's one of those things we have to get through, don't we? And like I say, I like cooking. I don't mind cooking for lots of people, as long as people stay out of my way. But that's quite a question. So I'm sure everyone knows I'm a vegetarian. None of Shane's family is. So there will be turkey and either pork or gammon. Pig, at any rate. I think that there's a small amount of beef as well. I'm not doing the meat. I will be doing my no turkey crown with vegetarian bacon top. I've got a nut roast that I'm going to be making in the next couple of days. I'm doing a chestnut and hazelnut stuffing and a thyme and lemon stuffing. I'm going to be doing orange glazed roast carrots plus ordinary boiled carrot or steamed over orange juice, maybe. I'm not quite sure yet. Honey roast parsnip. Got to have those, haven't you? Brussels sprouts, parboiled, then sautéed in herby butter with chestnuts and bacon. So I'll do a vegetarian and a non-vegetarian one. And all the veg you can think of. What's everyone's go-to vegetable for this time of year then? Oh, looks like someone's just come home from the pub.
When was the last time you went out? Does he need to go out?
Bear with me 2 seconds. Yeah, he could go out.
Hello?
Shane's home. And
You
Tyrion's
wanna go
going
out?
mad, so
Come on.
there we are. My roast potatoes, I always parboil them, obviously. I steam them over the empty pan, then I roast them in olive oil with 2 halved garlic bulbs and a garlic bulb just smashed into it with thyme, rosemary and sage. It's got to be olive oil though, none of this vegetable oil or sunflower oil, olive oil always works best. Right, well, I might have a bit of peace and quiet now because Shane's taking Tyrion for a walk. I think it has just about stopped raining here. It's not the nicest weather down in Somerset, I have to say. I apologise if I'm sounding a bit nasally. Obviously, like I said, I do have a cold. Oh, got a whole 2 people in now, so let's have some chat from you guys and see where we go from there, shall we? Shane's been out with his dad all day drinking, so I don't think he's quite in the most sober mood possible. Right, so where are we up to? It was number 8 next, wasn't it? Let's see if this is anything worth drinking, shall we? And what have we got? Oh, so it's from Woodfords again, 52 North. This is a West Coast Wherry American Amber. That actually sounds more up my alley. There's the can wrap. Same sort of design as on the last one, just different colour. I do like an amber ale, so see if an American amber does it for me, shall we? Take off that one. And there we have it. I wouldn't say it's amber in colour, would you? And I'd say that's that's gold. But there we are. Yes, David, it's the 12 Beers of Christmas from Lidl. It's probably in a different order to what other people have had it in because it got jumbled up a bit, so I had to get someone to open it up and reposition everything, so at least I still didn't know what I was getting. I'm not going to say it's the best collection I've ever had, but you know, I like to review cheaper things sometimes so people can, if they are on a budget, pick them up and try them for themselves. It's not bad. Anytime, David. So this American Amber, which is more of a gold straw, somewhere in between their beer. It's okay. No, it's a bit of malt in there. Very biscuity malt, but doesn't remind me of an amber. Not at all. To me, that's a golden ale. I mean, it's okay. It's drinkable. It's not a winter beer, though. I think what I might do is, whilst there's only a couple of us in, I'm not expecting anyone else to join, let's be honest. Let's just crack open the rest of the box, shall we? So that was number 8. Moving on to number 9, which is Cameron's Surf Bohemian Lager. Again, not a very wintry beer, is it? But there we are. So if we then go to number 10. If anyone has had this box from Lidl, do let me know what you think of those beers yourself. Oh, It is a beer I'm not a massive fan of, I have to say. It's the Jubal Peach. It's okay. I mean, you can drink it. I mean, you could drink arsenic if you wanted to, but I wouldn't advise it. Then into number 11. Woodford's again. It's their Voltage Session IPA. I bet that's not too bad. Drinkable. Going into number 12. It's their Full Pure Citrus IPA. I have reviewed Full Pure's Citrus IPA back when it was in much better can design, I have to say. But there we go. So that was the 12 Beers of Christmas from Lidl. Here we have it on the back. Got all the different beers on here. I have to say, the only standout beer for me from all 12 was that Thornbridge Chocolate Porter, which was a fantastic beer. But there you go. You can never tell, can you? So, you know, I'll enjoy this one. I'll keep those few as I expect my nephew will drink those over Christmas. I mean, I might have the piston head myself before then, but it's not something to drink now. Luckily, I've got something much better down below. So, any other plans from anyone? Anybody got anything really exciting coming up for the Yuletide season? I mean, by week of working and then cooking, that's going to be enjoyable, isn't it? But like I said, I do like cooking, so can't really complain. And I did offer. So we are now, we just get to 7 o'clock, so about an hour and a half in. This is true, David. Yeah, it's not always easy to get around, is it? Especially at the moment. And I'm not going to go too much into politics, but isn't the essence of a good protest or a good strike that you do disrupt things? Whether I agree or I don't, I won't say. That's just one of those things. So some people may well find it a bit harder to get around than they normally do. I know we've had some bus strikes recently down here. Our local bus company is First. Not the best company in the world, I'm sure anyone else that has First as their local bus company would know. You know, you could stand at the bus stop and wait an hour for a bus that should have been there 2 hours ago and it not turn up. But maybe that's just round here. Luckily, I'll be walking up to Shane Sisters, dropping everything off beforehand. How far away is that, David? Is it, I'm guessing it's not a walkable distance then. I've actually been quite pleased recently in Taunton. We've actually had a proper craft beer bar open up in town. managed to try my first Neon Raptor beer. Oh yeah, it's not really a walk. I mean, what's it? That's a good hour walk. Not always ideal, is it? I am quite lucky that, 3-4 years ago, I did pass my driving test. At the age of 32. A bit later than most people, but Shane's 41. He hasn't passed his yet, so. So we went up to 5 and then down back to 3. Who is still in the chat? Tell me where you are and what you're drinking. I did say I was a bit rusty at this. It's been a while since I've done a live. It might be more an hour and a half, actually, mightn't it? That's a bit more normal. It's been a while since I've walked anywhere, to be fair. Yeah. Since having the car, I guess. But there we are. I used to walk a lot. I used to, when I lived in Holford, a little village on the coast of Somerset, or near enough, used to go to a gig in Bridgewater, then walk for 12 miles home. Do that every weekend. Don't think I could do it anymore, though. Oh, down to 2 people in the chat. Yep, like I said, a bit rusty on this. Not been doing it for a while. Yep, I can concur with that one. I used to walk to the, not the next village over, but the one just over when I was younger. Certainly gets you in the mood for a quick pint, doesn't it? And that'll give you the energy to do the walk back. Well, hopefully you've got a can waiting in the fridge. Hey. Oh. But enjoy this one. I say enjoy. It's drinkable. Oh, so we've dropped down to just for one person. I'm guessing that's David. Just clear off some things on my phone a second. Right, so I'm gonna I think you're probably right there, David. I've certainly noticed over the past few years that what I used to think of as really is are now just barely passable, drinkable at best. It's not quite the same anymore, is it? Yeah. Unfortunately, that's I think, yeah, you get used to quality. You're going to notice when the quality is not there, aren't you? Well, I think if you'll excuse me for just a few moments, I will avail myself of the facilities and chat amongst yourselves, or two of you, I guess, and I'll be back very shortly. And I'll leave you with your father, Mr. Odin. He'll look after you.
You didn't put the toilet seat down again. I'll be a dentist. No, I finished. What, you feel like? Shall I take over? I think I'm another day. That's fine. I think we've got some good bowling down there. You finish that stream because that toilet would be a good start. I'm going to go and listen to Rocky Horror.
Oh, and we're back. Back down to one, I guess. Well, it has been a while since I've done one of these. I didn't think it was going to be the best in the world. Guess that's one of those things, isn't it? I may well start redoing my like every couple months Sunday live stream, but we'll see. If I don't get anything else. Oh, thank you, David. Yeah, I am a bit rusty, let's be honest. I think we peaked at about 9 people in when Tom was on the stream, so I'll sit here. I'll enjoy this one, and maybe someone else might decide to join in. Guessing, seeing as apparently the football was on today, a lot of people have been out watching that. Not really a thing for me, just one of those things, I guess. But there we are. I've got some nice Belgian beers down here. I'll enjoy one of those in a minute. And a fly joining in there. Don't think he's got anything to contribute, but there we are. So what I might do is I'll finish this so-called amber, West Coast Wary, American amber. Not much of an amber, I have to say, but there we are. Oh, thank you, David. Yeah, that is true. Right. I do hope at one point I would like to get the channel to, I don't know, 250 subs maybe. I've been hovering around 210 to 215 a lot of the time. It goes up and down. It's It's just a hobby for me anyway. So yeah, I like beer. I like talking about beer. Sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about. That's just me. It's very subjective. You've got to like what you like and enjoy what you enjoy, haven't you? But there we are. So just finish this one off. Say, I wouldn't say it's a very amber. It's very more like a golden. Well, it's just a gold ale. That's all it is. I mean, it's enjoyable. You can drink it. So let's go in for the Belgians. I'm trying to remember what I have and haven't reviewed yet. I think I'm going to go for the Bornham Gold because that is the lowest ABV here. And there it is. It's a nice golden Belgian. Bornham. Oh, and we're down to nobody watching. So, well, I'll crack it open anyway. Let's give it a good old review, see what it's like. So, you've got good carbonation in the bottle. I'm going to use my Belgian glass. It is a Leffe glass. Get it straight into the glass. Want a fairly vigorous pour so you get a good head on it. Get all the yeasty goodness out of it, of course. So, there we have it. Bornham Triple. This one comes in at, it's 9%. So, it's a nice, good, straw-coloured, fairly clear beer with solid finger there of good, clean, white head. Very carbonated, of course. I don't know why I'm giving you the aroma test. With my heavy cold, I can't smell a thing. But it's a classic. Who doesn't like a Bornham beer? Yep, you're getting that pear droppy flavour, characteristic of a Belgian yeast. Hint of banana. It's overly sweet, which again you expect that in a Belgian, don't you? And you're getting that carbonation rush opening up the flavour. You don't get the malt, which you wouldn't expect, would you? But overall, that's a classic beer. It's enjoyable, not sessionable. Don't try to session this one. But overall, enjoyable. Yep, I love this Belgian pack. It's the fourth time I've picked it up, I think. I've only reviewed 3 of them. Banana. Yeah, if you don't get banana in this, there's something wrong with your tongue. Pear drops, banana, sugar, yeast. Those are the characters you should be picking up. It's a standout beer for me. Can't really go wrong with it, can you? And I would say it's a wintry beer. It's got that warming character. I know that is coming from the ABV level, which does give that slight warmth in the stomach. But the flavour on the palate, unbelievable. Cheers to you all. Enjoy this one now. So, I may well, where we know we're coming up to 7:15. If I'll give it another 15 minutes. If we don't get something in, I'll end the stream off there. I'm sitting on 55% of my phone, so I've got plenty of time. We'll see where we are, shall we? But now I'm going to enjoy this one. It's a fantastic beer. And if you're going to have it, you might as well have it in a proper Belgian glass, eh? What have I got left here? Got that one to one side. Got Odin watching over us. He's feeling a bit sad, but he's getting left out there. But it's a bit short, isn't he? Maybe if I bring some of those horrible beers forward, he can smell them. There we go. So, we've got Odin sat here watching over. So, a Merry Christmas to you all. Or God Jul, as we say in Scandinavia. I suppose I should really be drinking out of my drinking horn. But it's way down there somewhere. I can't be bothered. I've got my nice one up there, but that's for show. So, I hope everyone's Christmas is going to be relaxing, enjoyable maybe, or away from people. That's always a good thing. Oh, tell you what, this cold has really knocked my sinuses for 6. Luckily, you can still taste a good beer. There. What have I got left? I've got a couple of okay beers, a couple of horrible beers, 5 Belgians down there, and I've also got a few bottles of a beer that I originally bought to review, and then when I tasted it for the first time, I thought, I can't review that. I'll give you a hint. If you're thinking of a lager from the New York region, think of that in a bad way, and I think you'll get it. But there we are. So we've got all 3 people in. Where are you from, home? What are you drinking? I think some of the bad ones I've already reviewed. The 4 Pure one I definitely have. Oh, you've not started your stout yet, David. So, I'm from Somerset and I'm drinking Bornham Gold. I'm not from Somerset, I'm from Devon. Any guesses on the lager style drink I had? All three of you in the chat? Oh, for those of you that were wondering, it's that. It's not great, is it? I picked it up because I thought Brooklyn Lager wasn't bad as far as lagers go. So I thought, oh, Pilsner, that'll be better. No, I will not review that beer. It was horrendous. I mean, it's drinkable as just a drink, but it's not for me. Not by a long shot. But that's one of those things, isn't it? You know, you don't know what something is going to be like until you try it. I just thought, fairly cheap. Let's give it a go. And there we have it. Yeah, normally I would say I agree with you there, but I thought, Brooklyn Lager wasn't too bad. So I thought, the Pilsner, oh, that should be even better. Therein lies my mistake. And there we have it. So, that's a good beer. If you haven't tried it before, I do recommend it. I mean, if they've got the 6 Belgian beer pack in your local Lidl, pick it up. I think you might be surprised if you haven't tried it already. There's some fantastic beers in there. I mean, Golden Drac alone, absolutely stunning. It's not easy to have a conversation with yourself, is it? Hey? Oh, any good plans, anyone? I don't know. Yes, David. I would say one of the best ones is the Augustina Brow. You can't go wrong with that, can you? Yes, it's a lager style. It's lagered, it's cold fermented, bottom fermented, but it's a good beer. You can't really go wrong. A Märzen or a Helles, they're always good beers. It's when you get to the English lagers and French lagers, they're just meh. They contradict me if you think I'm wrong, but for me, they're just meh. I mean, it's a pint, you can drink it if you want, but I won't. Well, we are almost at 2 hours now. I think if I might knock it off at past. Yeah, Hackashaw, it's good beer. I love it. As a lager beer, a bottom fermented beer, it's a good beer. You get a good malty character in there. It's very biscuity, bready malt, isn't it? It's very white bread. But damn fine beer. Can't really go wrong with that, can you? So, well, coming to my final 5 minutes because there's no point me talking to two people, is there? Massive thanks to everyone who has been in the chat. Not this time, maybe. And also thanks to Tom for joining me for the first hour. I think we had a nice conversation about different beers there. And I will try to check some lives out again sometime soon. But until next time, cheers to you all. Don't forget to, I've got to do it, haven't I? Like, comment, and subscribe down there. And until next time, very happy drinking. I'll leave it open for the next few minutes. I would say, if you're not already subscribed to me, then please do, but I would imagine you already are. Oh, actually, we have a new guest in a minute. So, Paul may well be joining us in 5 minutes. Oh, I can't see my screen now, so just bear with me. I'm just going to reply to Paul now. The only trouble is, because my phone is in the mount, I'm having to type sideways. There we go. There we go. Am I still there? Oh, I've gone sideways. There we go. Yep, so I will be staying on. Well, thank you, David. But I do have soon a Ginger Londoner joining. I'm going to enjoy this. I may well pop to the facilities once more. So bear with everyone. We have to just have a look at the Christmas decorations behind me for a minute. But you've got Odin sat there, so he'll look after you. And we're back. So, David is changing location. He'll be back in 5. Or a few. So, until people join us, I shall enjoy the remnants of this Bornham. Fantastic beer. Shane was threatening to join the live. I think maybe he should sometime. I mean, he only drinks cider, but you know. Oh, excuse me. I tell you what, a Belgian beer just feels Christmassy, doesn't it? That yeasty flavour, the pear drop, the fruitiness. For me, that is Christmas. You have to excuse me for a few minutes. Yes, I am a smoker. And I am going to disappear whilst I do this. But as we're waiting for people to join, I think I might take this opportunity. Anyone else in the chat? So, we are waiting for the legend that is Paul's Beer Reviews to join us. So, don't forget to give the stream a like and a share. Get it out there so people can see it. And we can have another good session. So I'm running on 49% at the moment, so about halfway through my battery. And 2 hours in, so that makes a bit of sense. I could do another hour and a half maybe. Let's switch up the old ring light. Go orange, brighter, lighter. Which is better, up or down? I don't want to look too washed out. I think that's about right, don't you? Not having my glasses on, I can't actually see very much. So I think that looks about right to me. Back in 5 minutes. Still nothing here. I don't normally smoke in the living room, but look at my can wrap board for a minute, shall we? So on here I've got Salt, The Hop, Castles in the Sky, First Date from Lords, Psychokinesis from Magic Rock, A Little Sobroni, My Little Sobroni in fact, from Arbor, the Glenafric Beerhawk Conquering Mountains. And on the other side, it's mainly little critters. There we go. So, it looks like we may have a special guest. I need to work out how to do this again.
Hello.
Good evening, Paul.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
How are you? I'm all right. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Just I can sit down and relax now. Oh. Yeah. Yes, just got in from work. A little bit later than anticipated, but we're here. We're here. So yeah, that's all that matters. How are you getting on? What are you drinking?
We had crumbly bread on for a while.
Crumbly bread. How is Tom?
And
You all right?
he stayed on for a bit longer than he intended to, which was nice of him.
Oh, fair play. Fair play to him. Lovely, lovely.
So I am drinking. At the moment, I'm finishing off a little bit of Bornham Gold.
Oh, so he's on the Belgian.
Because the 12 beers of Christmas from Lidl were hit and miss, shall we say?
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine anything from Lidl. You're getting all the kind of the cheap stuff in, aren't you? Really, with that, it's a bit of a.
I've got to do it. It's one of those things that some people might only be able to afford that case.
Exactly. It's no, I think how much were they charging for the 12 beers?
25 quid, I think.
That's not bad, is it? Really, considering all the
one bridge in there, so
yeah, considering all the packaging that's involved.
Yeah, but it's not bad.
That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. But it's funny.
Excuse me, I
funny
finished the cigarette.
Got to get smoke on.
We don't smoke in the living room.
Just the studio.
So we're going to waft it all out.
Nice. Wait, say it's funny. It's funny you should be on a Belgian because I'm on a Belgian as well, which
What
is
you want then, Paul?
quite rare for me. So I'm on a beer from the Belgian brewer, and they are. His name is Nick. He's a Belgian himself, but he now resides in Bishop Stortford, which is kind of on the border of Essex and Hertfordshire. And this is their double. So a British Belgian brewery. So,
and you've only really just appreciated the quality of the good Belgian, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm still waiting to have my mind blown by a Belgian beer, but I do appreciate the craftsmanship that goes into them, but it's quite rare that I have a Belgian beer and really enjoy it. I often find them too sweet for my liking. But I've had this one before, so this is the double, and I mean, the color of that. That's a bit more. That's a bit more me. It's a bit more roasty. It's a bit more complex. This one. I've had it a couple of times now, and I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, he's doing some good stuff out of. So yeah, check him out. The Belgian brewer. Really nicely presented bottles. The proper classic Belgian style beer bottle. But yeah, really nice beer.
That looks good.
But it's ideal. Got there's a lot of fruitcake flavours and aromas going on with that one. It's nice, perfect for the time of year, I think.
Definitely, yeah. I always find a Belgian is really good at this time of year.
Mm.
It's got that sort of fruitcakey flavour and aroma. It really does it.
Yeah, yeah. I have to say, I quite like this one. I don't know if there's actually. I don't know if he's put sugar in it. I don't know if there's actually any ingredients somewhere on this one, but I haven't seen them. But yeah, I don't know if he's added sugar to it, but there's a subtle sweetness to it. It's not overpowering, which I always find I get with a lot of Belgian beers. That sweetness puts me off. But this one's just on the money for me. I'm enjoying this one.
That's good. I'm going to drop down a bit now. I'm going to go for the. It's one I've reviewed before. It's the 4 Pure Citrus IPA.
Oh, nice. Nice.
This one came out of that little box, but it's the new 4 Pure branding. So you don't get that amazing artwork they used to do.
Yeah, it's gone very, very, very basic now, isn't it? The 4 Pure stuff, which is a bit of a shame.
Their artwork used to be amazing.
Mm.
When I think of like the Last Train Oatmeal Stout,
Oh yeah,
that artwork was amazing.
that was a
The
decent
beer was
right?
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now, I don't seem to be able to pick up their beer so easily.
Mm. A bit of a pain. We've got David Wilson's in the chat. Hello, David. How you doing, buddy?
He seems to be the only person who's stayed in.
Fair play to him. Well done, David. Well done, mate. What's David drinking? Is he on the beer this evening?
Are you actually on your beer now, David?
Must be time for a beer. Sunday night.
It's always time for a beer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I thought with perfect excuse. I finished work. I've got a couple of days off now. So like I say, I've got a couple of days off. I'm off work, but I've got everything else to do for the next couple of days. So it's but I thought I'll have a beer tonight.
There you go.
We're very
There's
well.
a message.
Yeah, we're very well. Thank you. We're very well. Abby's currently downstairs in the kitchen, pottering about, making some dinner, which is nice.
Your wife?
My wife. My wife. Yeah, she's currently doing some food downstairs, so I can smell it wafting up the stairs. It smells good. But yeah.
We just popped the spoons for some dinner earlier, so we're having leftover pizza for tea.
Oh, nice. Nice. I'm having pizza as well. Abby's doing a homemade Christmas pizza, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. He's on Anne's Batch and Hop Day Stout now.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, I quite enjoyed that. Yeah, it was just a bit. Well, I've got the can here, haven't I? I literally only reviewed that last night. I think it was last night or the night before. Yeah, I really like the can. It's got that kind of classic, sort of Dickensian / German Christmas artwork thing going on with it. I just thought it was a little bit thin. I like the use of spice. But it was just a bit thin. If it had a bit more body to it, maybe use wheats in the malt bill, maybe just to give it a little bit more bit of thickness. I think it would have been a really good beer. But as it was all right. It was interesting.
But I do like Pfeffernuss anyway, so that flavour in a beer would be good for me.
Yeah. How's the IPA going down?
It's all right.
It's all right.
It is what it is, isn't it? You know, it's a drinkable beer.
A drinkable beer. Yeah, that's all you can ask for. As long as it's drinkable and it doesn't.
It is what it is.
Yeah, as long as you don't want to chuck it down the toilet, then it's a winner. You know, a winner.
So we've got a message for you, Paul, from David.
Oh wow, you've got a litre of it.
He's got a litre to take out.
Bit intense. Like I say, it's I don't know if I could do a litre of it. I think it's one of them beers, but sometimes a pint is enough. You know, it was nice, but if it had a bit more body, a bit more of a sort of a cask like feel to it, I think it would have been a bit more of a sessionable one. You know,
It's nice.
it's nice. It's a nice beer. Yeah.
I've ordered, I don't know if it will get here in time for Christmas, but I've ordered from your friend of mine a 5-litre keg of Weiss beer and a 5-litre keg of Chosen Man Bitter.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that Weiss beer.
I've not reviewed the Weiss beer yet, have I?
No, I can't remember if I reviewed. I think I reviewed that one. I think I reviewed the Weiss beer. I had 2 kegs. I had the fish one, the fish New England. I forgot what the name of it was now.
I know the one.
Yeah, smelly. They're smelly fish. Smelly fish, yeah. New England IPA or something. It was That was, I can't remember what we called it now. Something about fish. But, yeah, but that was quite nice, and the Weiss beer was pretty good as well. But yeah, I chose a man I do like. That's a good bitter. It's a nice beer. That.
But when I think the first time I tried that, must be like 2.5 years ago now.
Yeah, it's one of them that they've always. Yeah, it is a good it's a good bitter, that one, Chosen Man. It doesn't talk about his traditional ones a lot. He kind of waffles on about the new ones. But have you had the Sleeper Lager?
I've not had it yet.
Oh, you need to have a go on that. That's a really good lager. I think that's probably the best. Excuse me. In hindsight, we're at the end of the year now, aren't we? So you can start saying things like this. I think in hindsight, that's probably the best new lager I've tried this year. The Lord's one. It's really good lager.
I think my best ginger infused beer of the year. Probably going to be well known.
It's a bit of a niche beer style, that, isn't it?
No, I loved it.
Yeah, I really liked it as well. It was so
very drinkable.
Yeah, I think that's the key word to it. It's very drinkable. If you like your ginger, if you like a bit of spice, I don't see there's nothing offensive about it. It's just a very drinkable golden ale with a nice bit of spice to it. It really worked. Because I mean, when me and John first spoke about doing a collaboration, the first idea was to do a ginger infused stout. But the more we thought about it, the more we were worried that perhaps it wouldn't sell beyond the winter. So we thought, okay, let's do something lighter. So then I thought, well, let's do like a golden ale. So we kind of go somewhere in the middle, so like a drinkable traditional style of beer, but with a touch of spice. So we went for that. I think he said it was generally easy to brew in terms of the malt and the hops. It was just getting the ginger. And but once they got that, I thought it really, really worked. It's the kind of beer you could drink this time of year, and I also think it's the kind of beer that you could just pick up a nice cold one of in the middle of the summer. I think it did both things. It was a good beer.
Rounded and balanced. And you don't get that so much these days, do you? A nice rounded golden ale.
Yeah, I say I really like golden ales. It's a bit of a forgotten style. There's a few breweries that do really, really good ones, but there's a lot of breweries that are just kind of they're leaving it behind. They're not really getting involved with it, you know. So it's a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a dying style of beer.
Right, I'm going to quickly catch up on the chat
Cool.
with all three people in the chat. Cadbury says, "Evening, gents."
I'm talking to a chocolate bar, a Cadbury. I love it.
David says, "To a chocolate bar."
That's great. How are we doing, a Cadbury? Thank you for joining us.
And the chocolate bar says, "Thanks for David."
It's a talking chocolate bar. Love it. Love it.
This just carries on for a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, very well. That's a bait. Yeah, Dave said, love the base beer. Not keen on the level of ginger. Nicely made beer. Yeah. I think that's all we were looking for. Like it's just a beer that you could just pick up and drink. Nothing too complex. Just yeah. I think it worked. I was happy with it. It's still a beer I'd happily just pick up and drink any time. It's one of those. It's just an easy drinking beer. Yeah.
When I got my case of mixed beers from John, obviously it was coming to the end of the season, so what I got was very indeterminate. I ended up with 4 Ballers, 4 Jaspers, and 4 Stone Crow.
Nice, but good beers.
And then, 2 beers I hadn't reviewed, so
Win-win.
And I have to say, the Stone Crow, I'll apologise for this now, Paul, is better than ESB.
Oh, shocking. I won't go that far. It's good. It's very, very good.
Better than the original.
Oh, nah, I can't agree. It's a really good ESB. What I liked about the Stone Crow ESB, it had a bitterness to it. There was kind of a slight roasty bitterness at the back end to it, which I really, really liked. But yeah, I think the Fuller's ESB is slightly lighter, slightly more sort of fruity. But they did a bloody good job with that Stone Crow ESB. I really liked it. I remember when I first tried it. I think the first time I tried it, I was actually on a live stream. It was probably around this time last year because I did a Christmas stream with John and Simon. And I said, look, I'll crack open a can of this since we're all together. And it was genuinely loved it. Really, really enjoyed it. It was a cracking beer.
David's with you.
ESB from a bottle. Yeah. Fuller's ESB for me is still a wonderful beer.
I love it. Don't get me wrong. But that Stone Crow, it just hit the right notes for me.
Yeah. No, I loved it. I really do. I think it was a terrific beer. I think the fact I will sit here and have a conversation about it is credit to it in itself. I will sit here and I will have that conversation of Fuller's ESB with the Lord's ESB. I think it's that good. That Lord's ESB, really good. But just the Fuller's for me, the combination of that fruity flavour from the malt and the hops, it's just wonderful. And it's people talk a lot about, what do you drink at Christmas? And for me, it's always I have to have Fuller's ESB in the house at Christmas. I have to. There's just something about that beer at Christmas. Everything just feels right. Right with the world when I've got a bottle of Fuller's ESB at Christmas. Everything's good. Excuse me.
To think I hadn't even tried it until you recommended it to me.
Shocking. Do you know what? It's funny. A lot of people, we're also, well, not also, but a lot of people are so preoccupied with the sort of the craft beer movement and what's going on and what's new and wonderful in beer that it's easy to kind of forget about what has come before that, right? So if you're a supermarket beer shopper, most times you have like 2 sides of a beer shelf, don't you? So you've kind of got one side has got all of your traditional stuff, and then on the other side you've got all the craft stuff. And I think a lot of people go down these beer aisles now and they just look at the craft stuff, look at all the new colourful things and all that. And I get it. But sometimes if you just turn around and look at the breweries that have been doing it for hundreds of years, and just try a few of them.
Fantastic, can't you?
Yeah, sometimes you just can't knock them. They've been doing it for donkey's years, and there's a reason for that,
And they've been going for that many years for a reason.
Yeah, exactly that. Right, my Belgian beer has evaporated, so I'm going to grab another beer. Hang on. What do I want?
While Paul's off getting a beer, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down there.
I love that.
Voice to
do the pointing bit. Right, because this is your first live stream in a while, I'm going to have a special one. I'm going to crack open a special beer with you. So I'm going to do an Imperial Stout. I mean, let's be honest, everything's an Imperial Stout these days, right? But this is one from Vocation. This is may contain sixpence, which is a Christmas pudding and cherry brandy Imperial Stout.
Good.
I ordered a couple of cans of these the other week, and I haven't tried it yet. So I'm gonna try this for the first time right now. So get stuck into this one.
Gotta be better than the Christmas pudding beer from Stuart Brewing in Niddles.
Oh God, yeah. Do you know what? I had that, unfortunately, and it wasn't good, was it?
I think my review is a bit scathing.
Oh really? I'm gonna have to watch that because I probably agree with every word. It was like watery, wasn't it? Like really watery thin.
Yeah. It smelled like Christmas pudding.
Yeah.
And then you drank it.
Yeah. I thought exactly the same thing. I poured it into a glass and I thought, that smells good. It smells really good. And as soon as I put it in my mouth, I thought, oh God, it's watery. It was chemically. It was just tasted artificial. Nothing about it tasted right.
Not for me. Hey, it's not the one.
No, not the one, mate. Not the one. So there's this Imperial Stout. Jet black. Their head has gone. This is 12.5%, so their head's never going to hang around.
Well, it should be.
Wow. That is.
We've got a comment here from the Chocolate Man. Would you say that people have a bit of trust with the older breweries, though? If they're a European brewery, but they brew in the UK?
Yeah, I think he's got a good point there. I think he's got a good point. I think a lot of people may well have gone down that route. They may well think, oh, is it any good anymore? Look what they're doing. And to a degree, you'd be right. I mean, look at the state of Green King beers now. I mean, they're bloody awful. There's not Old Crafty Hen aside, you would struggle to find a good beer from Green King now, which is, in my opinion anyway, which is a damn shame.
Green King IPA is nothing like what it used to be, is it?
Oh God, no. I mean, you drink Green
King, traditional IPA.
It doesn't even taste like an IPA, does it? Where's the hop character in the Green King IPA?
Lucky it tastes like a golden ale.
Yeah, it's
bloody lucky to get that.
Yeah, it's all wrong. It's gone very wrong, that one. I mean, I like Old Crafty Hen. Old Crafty Hen, I think it's still about 6.5%.
They're still doing it the right way, aren't they?
Yeah, if you get that with a nice bit of cheese, nice bit of cheddar, that's still quite a nice thing to do.
Not even European breweries, American breweries too.
Do you know what? I've not tried that yet. Is that any good?
Oh, it depends. Do you like bud? You can drink it, but I wouldn't advise it. But what do you think? Brooklyn Lager is a fantastic beer, isn't it?
Well, it used to be. It used to be until they started brewing it over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'm a massive fan of Brooklyn Lager. The actual American stuff's one of the best lagers I've ever had. But
Definitely.
since they started brewing it up in where are they brewing it? I can't remember now. They're brewing it over here now, aren't they? I can't remember
Yeah.
whereabouts they're doing it. Is it Wolverhampton? Somewhere near Wolverhampton where they've got a place that's
It's
brewing
what I would call up north, so anything above the M4.
it. Yeah. Yeah. I know they're brewing Brooklyn Lager over here now, and it's nowhere near as good. Nowhere near as good. But if you can, I tell you what still is good, if you can get it, is Samuel Adams. The Samuel Adams Boston Lager. If you can still get that, that's still good.
Sam Adams. It's a good beer.
Yeah, it is still a really good lager.
But
I
Craig
agree,
H
Craig.
says Stuart Brewing Christmas Pud beer was a effing disgrace. Spicy bubblegum grim. Yeah,
I love
pretty much.
I love that description. It was a disgrace, absolute disgrace. Sort of protested outside Lidl. Do you know what?
It was.
I think I'm yet to have a good beer from Stuart Brewing. I don't like slagging off breweries. I don't like doing it because essentially, if I don't like a beer, it doesn't mean it's a bad beer. There's going to be other people out there who do like it, but I think I'm yet to have a really good beer from Stuart Brewing.
I've had some, I would say, passable beers, but that Christmas pudding beer was vile.
It was bad. Yeah, it was thin. It was like medicinal. It was chemically. It wasn't good. Wasn't good.
Well, there we go. Brooklyn Lager was great. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think the same for me. It was one of them for me. Honestly, I think there's a few beers. There's a few beers that have really kind of got me on the route to my beer journey. Brooklyn was one of them. Samuel Adams was another. Blue Moon was another, and probably the other one was IPA. And apart from Samuel Adams and Blue Moon, I still enjoy Blue Moon. I don't care what anyone says. I still like Blue Moon.
Can't go wrong, can you?
It's just a good beer. It's just a good beer. It's if you like a nice citrusy wheat ale, it's still right up there. You know, if you pour it into a Blue Moon glass and you garnish it with a glass of orange, I promise you, it's still a cracking drink. Really is.
Yeah. But that reminds me of a beer I had in France. Blue Moon tasted exactly the same as when I was in France. When I went to a Quimper, little bistro overlooking the cathedral, a glass of Grimbergen. Slice of orange. You can't go wrong.
Yeah. I think it's quite a simple. I mean, I don't know, I'm not being a brewer, but I think it's quite a simple beer to brew because there's so many breweries now that have done their own versions, and I don't know whether it's just that bit of romanticism because Blue Moon was probably the first wheat beer I ever tried.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to be loyal to it, you know. And they've done what a lot of other breweries have done. They've rebranded. I still love that original Blue Moon bottle label with the snowy tip trees and out of the forest, and they've kind of gone away from that and rebranded, which is a shame. But it's still a good beer. Still good beer.
You don't forget the first time you get that poured into a wide goblet with a slice of orange, do you?
No, I literally remember when I first had it. I was in an American style diner, and it's literally called the Diner, and it was in Angel in Islington, North London. And they put the beer list in front of me, and I was like, "Oh, Blue Moon, that sounds interesting." It was just like loads of lagers, and I thought, "I don't really want a lager." I thought, "What's a Blue Moon?" So I ordered that, and they gave it to me in the curved Blue Moon pint glass with a slice of orange, and I was just like, okay, what the heck have I ordered? And then I tried it, and I was just like, oh my god, but this is awesome. This is awesome, and it was one of those moments, and it doesn't happen very often when you first time you try a beer, and it just kind of changes your whole perspective on what a beer can be. You know, that's what makes a beer special. And I had that with Punk IPA.
Yeah.
So the first time I ever tried Punk IPA, I was like, oh my god, you know, is this what an IPA can taste like? I couldn't. It was the smell, the first thing that blew my mind. But now it's compared to pretty much most other craft IPAs out there. It's bad. It's not nowhere near as good. You know, completely changed.
It's like when you think what the original punk was like,
Yeah,
and how different it is now.
yeah. It's
Like,
got, I mean, it was pushing 6%, wasn't it, when it first came out? And now it's what? What is it now? I don't even know what the ABV is now. Is it 5.4?
But you're lucky to get 5, aren't you?
Yeah, so it's not. If anyone knows in the chat what the ABV of Punk IPA is now, it's been that long since I've actually bought Punk IPA.
No, there you go, Van Poel. That's one for you. Mr. Chocolate. He's going to be Mr. Chocolate now, isn't he?
Oh wow, Mr. Chocolate. I think it became a Brewdog bar briefly, or was next door. Wow, I know there was a bar right opposite the diner. For the life of me, I can't remember what it was called. It was a really nice bar though. And to be fair, thinking about it, that had a Brewdog bar written all over it. That could well be a Brewdog bar now, for sure. But it's been a while since I've been there.
I say I've not been in London for some years.
Have you not?
The last time I went to London was to see Paradise Lost at the Coco.
So you're not missing much, mate. Too many people.
I go to Camden sometimes, you know.
You know what the thing is? I love London. You know, it's where all my family are from. I love it, but at the same time, I like coming home. I like coming out of London. It's just too many bloody people in London. It's too busy. You know, it's too bloody noisy, and it's too expensive.
Yeah. Right, well, I'm going to have to dash off for 2 seconds and avail myself of the facilities.
Sounds good.
If there's any comments, feel free to fill them.
I'll hold the fort. Get me words out, me man. I'm just busy sipping on this stout, which is I'll be honest, doesn't taste much like a Christmas pudding, but I can taste the cherry brandy. I can taste a little bit of dark fruit, but I'm not sure it reminds me of a Christmas pudding, but it's boozy. Cherry brandy, location, may contain sixpence. It's an interesting beer. It's boozy, but yeah, I'm not quite sure I'm getting the Christmas pudding links. I'm getting the brandy and the booze that comes on top of the Christmas pudding. A Cadbury says 5.4%. Is that what it is now? Punk IPA. God blimey, it's gone down a bit, isn't it? And how strong is this one? This one is 12.5. Is it right there? 12.5% this one. Got a lot of booze. A lot of booze to chuck into one beer, but they'll come out, don't they, this time of year? And the way Vocation advertised this beer was brilliant. They literally just did a picture of a Christmas pudding on fire. So they poured brandy on it, lit it, and then they put their can. They put this can right next to it, and that was all I needed. That was all I needed. There's something quite magical about having a Christmas pudding on the flame. Something about it makes you want it. So yeah, it's certainly boozy. It's certainly warming. And say lots of cherry brandy, unmistakably. But I could do with a little bit more of a malty touch to it, I think. But it's a touch of roastiness to it, touch of stout character to it. But that cherry brandy is very prominent. If you like your cherry brandy, that's probably a good one for you. It's a bit of luxury, that one. But yeah, not the best in pissed out I'll have this year, that's for sure.
Where are you up to then, Paul?
Pretty much at the bottom. We're just talking with a Cadbury about the vocation stout that I'm sipping on. Like I say, it's very cherry brandy strong, this one.
Which can be quite nice, but sometimes can be overpowering.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning on the overpowering side. I think I've got 2 cans of it, and I might share the other one, or I might give the other one to someone else. To be honest with you, it's
what was the one they had in M&S? That was very overpowering.
Was it the Black Forest Stout?
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I reviewed that and I found it really sweet. Really sweet. It was.
I didn't get around to reviewing it. I tried it and I thought, "Ooh, wow, that's something else."
Yeah, it was just too sweet. It just tasted a bit. The sweetness on it just tasted a bit forced, you know.
Yeah. Because the one beer I wanted to review from M&S, my camera died halfway through.
Oh.
The Huck Brewery Festive Belgian White.
Oh yeah, I had that one. I quite enjoyed that.
It was a really good beer.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed that one. It was good. Apparently, people have been saying it's only £1 a bottle now. It's gone down in price.
I went in the other week and they didn't have any left.
No, not surprised. I'm not surprised. It is a decent brewery. I had what was it? There was a company that were promoting that beer. This was weird because they never asked me, but there was a company that were promoting that beer. They put a post up about it, obviously promoting Marks and Spencers, and it said, "Oh, try this beer, available in M&S. This was recently reviewed by Paul's Beer Reviews." And it came up on Instagram, and I was like, "I don't even know who you are." There was some company that were promoting the beer that said, "Oh, it's recently been reviewed by Paul's Beer Reviews," and I'm like, "I don't even know who you are." You know, it was just really, really odd. But yeah, but it was a nice beer for the money. Really nice beer.
Yeah. Reminded me a lot of Hoegaarden.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely nailed that. Yeah, it is. It's definitely that. It's got that Belgian white beer style to it. It nailed it, you know.
But it was Hoegaarden with a little bit of orange zest in.
Well priced, isn't it?
Bloody good beer.
A few people. Thomas has just popped in as well. Wow, look at this.
Let's try and catch up with some of these comments a bit. Let's got to scroll back a bit. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much where we are. We got to that point, didn't we?
Yeah. That was an interesting beer, that one.
See, I didn't get to try that, see?
That was the first beer I had. David mentioned in GBBF. I had a few beers with David this year at GBBF. And that was literally the first beer I drank at Great British Beer Festival this year, was that beer. And it was a bit too... I'm trying to think of the word. Probably a bit too Belgian-y for me.
Yeah.
It was simply a Ukrainian golden ale. But apparently the Ukrainian golden ale was inspired by like a Belgian recipe. And it really came through on that beer for me. It was just a bit too Belgian-y.
Yeasty, pear droppy.
Yeah, a bit of that.
Right, so we'll go from Thomas going, hello, you gorgeous people.
How you doing, Thomas?
Good evening, Thomas. Nice to see you.
You cheeky Irish bastard.
To be sure.
To be sure.
I'm allowed to say that, seeing as I'm half Irish.
He's allowed. I'm not, but I'll say it anyway.
Are you guys planning to go to any beer music festivals? Or next year, I should say. Well,
Absolutely.
I'll be at Bloodstock. I know that.
Yeah. There you go. I'm going to
I'm
download.
Megadeth, so
Yeah, I'm going to download. I'm going to see Metallica next year.
ooh, Megadeth versus Metallica.
No contest, is there?
Yeah, Megadeth wins.
Outrageous. Outrageous.
You've never been so offended in your life.
So I know you're a purist, aren't you, Chris? You're a Megadeth all the way. I'm sorry. I'll just Metallica are better.
Metallica, but they will never play at Bloodstock, will they?
No, probably not. Unfortunately, they are. I don't want to sound like a complete knob, but I think Metallica are probably too big to play Bloodstock, aren't they?
No, I completely agree.
Yeah. That's a shame, really.
They did download one of the 2 years I went there.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I got completely bloody wrecked beforehand.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
2006, so they were doing the 20th anniversary of Master of Puppets.
Oh, God. Yeah. But they played the album in full, did they?
Yeah, that's right. I passed out.
I did something similar with Iron Maiden. I was looking forward to Iron Maiden all day. All day I was looking forward to Maiden at download, and I watched so many good bands that day. I watched Motorhead, I saw Queens of the Stone Age, and I was just getting more and more drunk as the day went on. By the time Iron Maiden actually came on, I was off my nuts. I was so gone. So gone. I don't remember a note. Don't remember a note of it. I was just like, what a waste. What a waste.
Close to that. I mean, 2007, when the second year I went download, I watched 12 bands the whole weekend.
The whole weekend.
Turasas, the Finnish folk metal band, were opening up on the Saturday. I was front row for them, and I'm on their DVD.
Yeah.
I remember nothing else from the whole day.
That's your claim to fame. That's it. On the DVD. I love that.
More metal than metal, is there?
Exactly that. But yeah, no, I'm going to download. I'm going to go see Metallica next year. Beer festivals, I'll definitely be doing beer festivals. I'm actually working. I'm working at Brew London next year. So the brewery that I now work for, we're having a stall there next year. So I will be there working / drinking. So I'll definitely be at Brew London. And
I'm going to London, aren't I?
Yeah. But I really want to get to Bristol. Every time people say to me, where do you want to go for beer? And the more I put it off, the more I want to go. I really want to go to Bristol next year.
Bristol Beer Fest is a good festival.
Yeah. And there's so many of my favourite breweries are down there.
The train station, and we always have a good time up there.
Yeah. It's becoming a bit of it's becoming a hot spot. It really is, Bristol, for craft brewery at the moment. It's just craft beer, should I say. So much good beer coming out of Bristol. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, we like good beer in the Southwest.
There you go. There you go.
Mr. Chocolate is talking now. If I can bring it up. I've got fat fingers. Howling Hops.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
not tried them, I have to say.
I think if you ask my wife, she's a massive. She's a big Howling Hops fan. I think if you asked her what her favorite, last time I asked her if she loves sours. She really likes sour beers. And the last time I asked her what's the best sour you've had lately, she said, "Oh, it was that Howling Hops one that we had at London Craft Beer Festival." So we went to London Craft Beer Festival, and she had a sour from Howling Hops, and I think it was like a blackcurrant thing. Can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but she said this is amazing, like amazing sour. So yeah, so I don't think I actually had anything from Howling Hops this year, but I've had a couple of pale ales from them in the past, and they've been all right. Howling Hops.
I'm not a massive fan of sours myself, but
No, me neither.
a cutting question from Thomas. What's your favourite rocking chair?
I'm not really sure how to answer that one. This one right now, it's not even a rocking chair, but it's I don't know. Yeah, what Thomason is odd questions. I have no idea how to answer that one.
We've got this going.
Just go. What's happening?
Happy damn Sunday to you too.
Happy damn Sunday.
Thomas saying hello to Disco. Disco saying hello to Thomas.
I'm just eating my dinner. Don't mind me.
And we've caught up with the comments.
Happy days.
This what am I on now? This it's only Heart and Soul, isn't it? It's okay.
Are you still on that IPA, are you?
Yeah, it's going down all right.
Yeah, this stout is just starting to go the same way that the one from M&S did. It's just getting a little bit too sweet, I think.
Yeah.
It's a bit too cherry oriented, and it's boozy as hell. At 12.5%, it's not hiding it. So I just think cherry brandy, a touch of roasty stout character, but loads of booze. Yeah, I don't think it's balanced enough. I think that cherry brandy is really overpowering on this one.
Well, I have to say, my favourite stout of all time. I'm not going to back down on this one. It's going to be a Quantock Brewery beer. Late night breakfast.
Oh, not had that one. Not had that one.
Fantastic beer. Barrel aged. Good unctuous quality to it.
That's a really good. It's a really good point. Was that's your all-time favourite stout?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Wow. I'm not sure I can answer that. If anyone in the chat could do that, what's your all-time favourite stout? That is a good question, because most stouts nowadays, there's not that many breweries, I don't feel, that have like a core range stout, it seems.
No.
You know, they tend to be a seasonal thing. They tend to be a seasonal release, so it's really hard to keep tracks on them. I mean, the first thing I think of when you think what's your favourite stout, the first thing that comes to mind is Guinness. But unless you've had Guinness in Ireland, it's a kind of a bit of a rubbish answer. You know?
Or at least Foreign Extra.
Yeah, the Foreign Extra is a great beer.
The Nigerian particularly.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I mean, I was lucky enough to go to Dublin this year, and I had the Guinness there, and it blew my mind purely because it tasted nothing like the Guinness that we get over here, and I found that amazing. Is that because it was suggesting that Guinness doesn't travel well, which I couldn't get my head around, considering how much they're worth. You know, you'd think Guinness would travel a lot better than what it actually
My
does.
dad used to say Guinness does not travel.
Which is I just find that baffling. I find that baffling. But the Irish Guinness from Dublin, from the Guinness storehouse in Dublin, was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Abby recorded me as I was drinking it. I didn't know she was recording me. And it was on the video. I did the Guinness tour video. And Abby was recording me when I had my first sip of legitimate Irish Dublin Guinness. And I couldn't believe what I was tasting. But genuinely, I was just like, what is that? What is that? That is not what I've been drinking all these years. You know, mad.
Yeah. It's completely different, isn't it?
Completely different animal.
But I will definitely say breakfast. If you haven't tried it, get it.
I will. Quantop Brewery are one of them beers. Don't get a lot of their stuff around here. Randomly enough, they've got a bargain booze near me. They sell a few in there. But last time I looked, they're all like past their sell-by date, so they shouldn't be selling them really. But yeah, but I haven't had a stout. I've not had a stout from Quantop Brewery.
It's unbelievable. Trust me. I'll see if I can pick them up and send them out.
Have you, if people are starting to ask the question now, have you got any, or even a short list for your beer of the year? Seems we're right at the end of the year now.
See, Tom asked the same question earlier, but because I've not been keeping up to date so much recently, if I have a beer of the year, it's not going to be a new beer. It's going to be a beer from like last year or the year before.
Yeah.
Because I took so much time out in the summer. It's going to be something people have already had.
Doesn't matter.
So I'm not. I've got a couple I'm thinking of. One of them might actually be a golden ale with ginger.
Wow.
And then the best beer I've tried this year.
Blimey. That's amazing. Because you've had a couple of that now, haven't you? Because wasn't Log Jam Smash your beer of the year a couple of years ago as well?
It was, yeah.
Wow.
2020 beer of the year.
Goodness me. That was a crazy beer. That was a crazy beer.
2021 was that year's Fuller's Vintage. Because that was definitely a beer of the year for me.
Yeah. I think I've got what I do on my shelf behind me. I put up all the really good beers for the year. So I have a row at the top of like my all-time favorites, and then the rest of the shelves are made up of like the best beers I've had this year. And there's one beer in particular that every time I look at the can, I'm just like, oh, that was good. That was so good. And that again is another one from Bristol. It was this one was from Left-Handed Giant.
Good brewery, yeah.
This was their King of the Woodland. Their King of the Woodland Imperial Stout with pistachio and honeycomb. And I had that right at the beginning of the year. It must have been January, February latest that I reviewed that. That beer was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I still think I've reviewed it. You can go back and like watch the review. I was just sat there making noises for about 15 minutes. I just couldn't believe how good it was. It was just a nonsense beer review. It was so good. But I think that's definitely the best beer I've drunk in this room this year. I've had some cracking beers out on the road and at beer festivals and things like that. But yeah, that is right up there. King of the Woodland. And apparently they release this every year with a slightly different recipe. I'll be intrigued to see what they come out with either the end of this year or early next year from Left-Handed Giant. So King of the Woodland, I'll keep an eye out on that because if it's anything like this one, amazing.
When it was Shane's birthday in November, we went to Exeter one day. We went to Bristol the next, and we were going to go to Left-Handed Giants tap room, and we couldn't find it.
Oh no.
So we went to the beer emporium instead, and I had beers from like Newbury and the Bristol Brew Company and all these little local breweries. I couldn't get to Left-Handed Giant.
I would be all over that. I want to go to Left-Handed Giant, say New Bristol Brewery, Arbor, one of my all-time favourite breweries. I love what they're doing at Arbor. Love what they're doing now.
I'm going to catch up with the comments a bit now.
Do it.
It's definitely fallen behind. Da-da-da. There we go. Mr. Chocolate says, Anne's Fashion Hop Day do a great London Stout.
Oh yeah, London Black. Yeah, London Black is a cracking stout.
I love a good London Stout, or as it should be called, a porter. David Wilson's on their Pfeffernuss. I enjoyed your review of that, Paul.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and Spack and Hop Day do a good stout. Like we say, the London Black is a classic, a modern classic. So I was all over that, and I found out they were doing a Christmas version. But
Well, I do like Pfeffernuss biscuits anyway, so. So much pistachio.
Yeah,
apparently.
In that one, it was loaded. It was cracking. Unbelievably good beer.
Disco agrees, hoping to make some up locally this week.
Do it, Disco. I imagine that on cask. If they do that on cask anywhere, and Splash on Hop Day, honestly, I need to know, because I imagine that on cask would be spectacular. Really do.
I'd like it. Great, no nonsense beers. Isn't that what we all aim for? A good no nonsense beer?
Yeah, it's an everyday drinker, I guess. Yeah.
Well, David had it in keg for takeout.
A hogsback, blimey. I can't remember last time I had a hogsback beer.
Oh.
That's another one you get in the supermarkets, isn't it? You can get hogsback in, I think you can get them in Sainsbury's.
Used to be able to, yeah. Used to get their cider as well, which was, as a Somerset person, horrific.
Hang on, Will's just said Bristol Beer Festival 2023.
£40 for a 5-hour slot.
And the beer's included. I'm all over that.
Well, if it's drink as much beer as you can, then hell yeah.
40 quid, that's a bargain. That's a bargain. I'll just have to sort out the accommodation. 40 quid. That's
I would watch it at Temple Meads, literally 2 seconds round the corner.
There you go.
Where I will be staying that weekend.
Have we got the dates for that, Will? We've got the dates for Bristol Beer Festival.
Oh, Simmer's in too.
Simmer! How's Simmer?
Hey!
Yeah. Simmer, you bastard!
Hey! We've not managed to do Bristol Beer Festival yet.
I'm all over that Bristol Beer Festival.
That came over more Scottish than Lancashire, didn't it?
You did. You went a bit Scottish there. I don't know what that was about. Billy Connolly.
Right,
Billy
so
Connolly with that
going
haircut. Billy Connolly.
Voltage Session IPA.
We look bad. Book in advance and share him.
See what that bastard's like.
I am bang up for that. I'm bang up for a Bristol Beer Festival next year. Definitely. That's the one I really, really want to do.
It's only round the corner from me.
There you go. So we're meeting up and getting battered.
I don't know if anyone ever wants to meet me.
Well, the thing is, you live down in the southwest. It's not the go-to place, is it? I suppose for beer, which is a shame because it should be.
Well, we've got St Austell, we've got St Ives.
I went
We've
down
got,
there last time I was down there. I went to St Austell last time I was down in the southwest. It was nice brewery.
I like the Menadu, the Cornish Stout.
Yeah, that is nice. They do a barbecue sauce with that in. You've tried that? Really good. Really good. So David's coming. Yeah, that night to the 11th of June. Why does that ring a bell?
Yeah. David can't keep up with my drinking.
I need to double check something. I want to go to that. Let's double check this. Oh no, we're good. We're good. So I'm going to a stag do, but that's in July. For some reason, dates. Yeah, Tuesday the 11th of July to the 13th. I'm on a stag do. But that's July, so that's all good. I could do that. Right to the 11th of June. I'm all over that.
Yeah, I'm not sure now. Those dates seem there in my head. It might be the same dates that I have my dog show that I'm chairman of the club.
You're going to have to postpone the dog show for a Bristol Beer Festival. You've got to come, Chris. Got to come. If I'm coming all the way down, you've got to be there.
It might not be that day, to be fair. I'll have to have a look.
If I'm coming down to Bristol, I might just do all 3 days. Just do all 3 days of the festival. Just try all of it.
Hey, if it's my weekend off, I'm booking a hotel in Bristol and I'll be staying up there.
Job done. David says his next beer festival was the GBBF Winter Festival in Burton. On the 16th to the 18th of February.
That's
Burton.
up north, isn't it?
Burton. It's like Midlands, isn't it? Burton. That's like the
Up
home
north.
of British beer. Well, it used to be the home of British beer anyway.
I think it's pretty much up north from here.
Up north. Up north. Up north, bastards. But yeah, Bristol. I've got to get to Bristol, and I say I think the beer festival is probably the best way to do it. But I'd love to get around to a few of the. I'd love to get to a few of the tap rooms in Bristol, definitely.
Aye, that'd be good. There's some good little pubs around it as well.
Oh, I can imagine. I know Chris wants to come as well.
In the country.
Excuse me. I know Chris from Chris's beer reviews wants to come down. He was there not too long ago with his wife. And he said didn't really get a chance to explore the way he wanted to. And I said to him, I really need to get to Bristol and have like a beery adventure. I know Chris is bang up for that. So yeah, we'll definitely be coming. So I'll talk to him about that. 9th to 11th of June, the Bristol Beer Festival. I'm bang up for that.
I'm going to book that off work.
Yeah, book it. Oh, well, I'll book the tickets. Literally, if the tickets are available, I will literally book them when I get paid. When I get paid, because December is an expensive month. But I think I'm done I think I'm done in terms of expenses. All the bills have been paid. I think I've bought everyone's Christmas present. So I think I'm sorted. Yeah, left-handed giant arbor. Absolutely, David. Absolutely, mate.
Yeah.
I want an arbor
And
t-shirt.
Arbor, a fantastic Bristol brewery, aren't they?
I love arbor. I absolutely. I don't know. I think it's weird to me that more people don't talk about them. I just think they're absolutely
I know.
terrific. Every year, like a beer of the year from them is in my shortlist. Always from them.
Yeah.
There's always something from them. A new beer is always would make my top 10 at least beers of the year. Every year without fail. The pint cans, the value for money, I think they're terrific. Absolutely terrific.
One of my favourite beers they've ever done is My Little Sobroni.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fantastic beer. Good quality.
I had their lager not too long ago, and the lager is always a good sort of measuring stick to use against any brewery. If they do a lager well, then they're a half decent brewer. And it's there. It's behind me. Arbor Lager is on the shelf behind me. It's one of the best beers I've had this year. And I was nervous. I was genuinely nervous because most beers I've had from Arbor have generally been pale ales and IPAs. Your hazy juice bomb beers. And they've always been absolutely amazing. So when they released a lager and I bought it, I was like, God, I want this to be good. I was like, please be good. Please be good. And when it was, I was just like, do you know what? These guys are the real deal. They are the real deal. And if you've not had an Arbor beer yet, you need to really get on it. David Wilson's got a box of 10 Arbor beers, mate. You will love it. I'm imagining you've had Arbor beers before, David, but I mean, they're one of my all-time favourite breweries. I love them. Love Arbor beers. Terrific brewery. And it was one CBBF, Great British Beer Festival. Yeah, Great British Beer Festival. I had one of theirs on cask, and it was stunning. Arbor on cask, it was still absolutely fantastic. You kind of wonder with hazy pale ales if they come out as good on cask, but it really was lovely. For the life of me, I can't remember what beer it was now. Cracking beer either way.
Well, they are just a decent, good, honest brewery, aren't they?
Mm. Absolutely. I've got a can of their Pocket Rocket in the fridge behind me. I've always got an Arbor beer knocking around somewhere. They're always there. Considering they're on the other side of the country, I've always got an Arbor beer in the house. They're never too far away. It's just the value for money. When you can get a pint can of a really good Arbor IPA for like £3.50, it's a madness.
It's just good, but I can pick one up in my local M&S.
There you go. There you go.
Bring that comment up. Is it coming up? There we go.
It's a Brewdog, like a 1 to 2 minute walk away from left-handed giant. Because it's a little hidden. There's one thing's for sure, I won't be going into Brewdog.
But if you can find the Brewdog bar in Bristol, you're not far from left-handed giant.
So if you're going to go that far, you might as well go left-handed giant.
Because we'll walk on the river a bit.
Yeah, I'm not going to Brewdog, that's for sure. No, love Arbor. So much good beer coming out of Bristol. Like I say, left-handed giant, new Bristol brewery. Arbor, class.
Beer
Not
Factory.
haven't even mentioned Lost and Grounded. I mean, what a brewery they are.
New Bristol Brewery, bringing out some fantastic beers recently.
That's another brewery. Chris from Chris's Beer Reviews is massive on. He loves them. Loves New Bristol Brewery. I've not had much from them, to be honest.
Bristol Beer Factory, also good beers.
Mm.
Their smoked porter is amazing.
They said, Paul, depends what guests Brewdog have. I don't know. Again, I'm just like, if I'm going to go to Bristol, I want to be drinking Bristol beer. And I mean, if Arbor are in there again, wouldn't you rather have it from Arbor? If New Bristol in there, wouldn't you rather have it from New Bristol? I don't know. I don't see the point going into a Brewdog beer, the Brewdog bar, rather, should I say? Just don't see the point.
Yeah, go to Beer Emporium, you get Bristol beers and the best pizza you've ever eaten.
Oh wow, that's a big statement. It's a bold statement. Bold statement.
Underground, good
I had
beer,
pizza.
good pizza.
I had a pizza from Detroit Pizza Company, who have opened up a restaurant in London. It's right near the tobacco docks, right near the Docklands of London. It was wow, amazing pizza, and probably the best pizza I've ever had. Absolutely incredible. Detroit Pizza in London, incredible. That square pizzas, like proper crispy base. Oh, naughty.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, I have to say I'm down to 11% on my battery.
That's all right. I'll just
We go.
polish off. I've just polished off this beer, so I might not have another one on camera. So if you wanted to wind it up,
we're going to wish everybody a good Yule. Merry whatever religious festival you celebrate. And go and get pissed.
Yeah, go get drunk.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down there.
Do with that. Like, comment, and subscribe.
And until next time, very happy drinking. And we now have another guest appearing underneath. Just as my battery is about to die.
This has been winding up.
I bet this is Mr. Yes, it is. It had to be, didn't it?
It's Big John with his Tesco value jumper on.
Indeed. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Look at it.
I'm
Just
sorry
as
if
my
I'm
battery is about to die.
Oh, no way, really?
Yeah, I've got 9% left.
His phone's about to die. So that means that John's going to have to carry on his channel.
Oh, you want me to carry on there? I don't even
That's what it
know
means.
if I've got any,
That's
I
what
don't
it
know
means.
if I've got any drinks in. My computer's lagging like crazy. I don't know if that's coming across on your side.
Yeah, you lagged a bit there.
Yeah, I've got a video rendering that I did a review of a gaming headset that I got.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I had a little ping notification on my phone, and I thought as soon as I've finished editing this, I will come on and say hello and Merry Christmas.
Hello.
God yours to you.
I don't know what
So
he's saying when he said that.
No, what you on, Chris? What are you drinking?
I was drinking well, Heart and Soul was the last thing I drank. That's all right.
Nice, good choice.
Could be all right.
Yeah, all right. good
I was
beer.
drinking my one with the Lidl 12 beers of Christmas, and one of them was
it good? One of them, just one.
yeah. I paid them pay out, but they're okay. Yeah, you can drink them.
Well, that's what it's about sometimes, isn't it? It's not necessarily most expensive. It's whatever's in your budget at the end of the day, isn't it?
Exactly.
And that's why I did it. Okay. Something
Indeed.
more
Good
suited,
on you.
but might not be able to afford something more adventurous.
Absolutely. So David Wilson likes my jumper. Thanks, David. It's good, isn't it? I've had this years as well.
I haven't got the glasses on, so I can't actually see your. Tesco value.
Look how long my chip is.
It wasn't from Tesco either. That is a long chip.
That's a long chip. Put it away.
Oh, everyone's got. I'm not even sure I've got any beer in the fridge. Let me double check. 1 second.
I will never understand this about this man. He's a beer man. We never has beer in the house.
I'm going to have to abandon the stream and let somebody else take over soon because my battery is almost dead.
So Chris' battery is about to die. So anyone who's in chat, who's actually finished work for Christmas? Because I know some people have. So if you would like a live stream to continue, do a vote. Do a vote. Does anyone want to continue with the live stream, or should we all just chill?
I'm waiting. In the comments, the suspense.
I'm down to 8%.
Oh, nice.
We got seconds.
I've got no beer.
I'll throw some at you.
I've ordered some beer from you, John.
I know, and you've done some reviews. Thank you very much. You're very kind. I love your reviews. They're so chilled.
I
There's
will
you and
be
Bramall.
reviewing the
Bramall. Nice. Oh, you're like the Weiss beer. It gives you a bit of a hangover, though. I will warn you. Make some tea then, John. I know I should really.
Yeah, David says he's always up for a chat. Make some tea.
Make some tea, then John. Always like to chat. Primer. No, this was off eBay actually. It cost quite a few quid. It was quite more expensive than a normal Christmas jumper at the time.
There you go.
I'm down to
7%.
Right. The stream.
What I'll do, I will clock out.
So whose channel? Oh, yeah.
What?
Do it on yours, Paul. Do it on yours.
Yeah. Do it on mine.
Yeah, do it on yours because my computer is how many percent are we? We are 40% through rendering this video. So if I stop and then I can go out, grab some beers or something alcoholic to drink, and then by that time you'll be set up and going.
We'll be set up. What's the time anyway? Oh, bloody hell, it's 9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, 9.
It's 9.
9. So if I sort something out for about 9:30, we do a stream on mine from about 9:30. We'll do a couple of hours.
9:30. If you get to 9:30, you'll have changed your mind, Paul.
Maybe. But we'll see. But we'll see. I've had a long day. But we'll see. But if you're up for it, I'll set up a stream. If people are up for it, I'll set up a stream. If they're not, I won't bother. Simple as that. Simple as that.
But I'd like to thank everybody who came on my stream. Tom, Paul, John.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for inviting us. Sorry I didn't get on earlier.
Yeah, John.
My first one, it was very rustic, shall we say?
It worked though. It worked. It worked nicely.
I almost walked off at one point, but
I got you back on. I got you back in the game.
We've all felt like that. Don't worry.
So what I'll do, I'll jump off and I'll let Chris say goodbye to everyone. But thanks for having me, Chris.
right.
I will. I'll have a chat. I'll have a chat with John, and I might sort out another one this evening. So I'll see you later.
See you later, Chris. Bless you, mate.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Right. Well, thank you everyone who has enjoyed my live stream. If you have enjoyed it, and we got lots of comments in here, which was mostly just the fun and whatnot. Oh, and until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down there. And until next time, very happy drinking.